Left jab, uppercut, leave you laid out on the floor. Try to duck and roll, hit and miss, now you counting stars. Should've practiced more, should've hit the mask, get out there more. Claim that you're the best. You gotta show me, son. Actions over words, baby boy. Is you real or what? Talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports, talking way too much, world come. Back sports,
Again, we tuned in to World Combat Sports, man. This is the evening live, man. I want y'all to see, Team Williams out of North Carolina, Fayetteville, North Carolina, with the one and only legend Roy Jones Jr. Local presser, local promo on the eve of stepping in there next week with John Bowser. That's what it's all about, people. So let's get right down to it, man. If you in the building, you know what I'm saying, hit the like button. I'm going to share screen and let you take a look at the interview, which they did on WCCG 104.5, I believe. And, you know what I'm saying? Just listen in to how they promote Michael Williams Jr. on the eve of his fight with John Bowser. It's a top rank edition. And they're still putting in the grind, man. They doing state promotions, local promotion. Roy Jones Jr. is on deck down there along with the team. And also you have Michael Williams Jr. that's sitting right next to Roy Jones. And you have up and coming rising prospect Andrew Murphy, Team Lightning on deck. You know what I'm saying? So enough of me. Let's go.
We live.
You officially got locked in on the Afternoon Express with me, YN, man. I told y'all, I promised y'all we had a legendary episode today, man. There's some legends in here. I'm not up here, though. Hey, big bro, go ahead and tell them who I'm with.
Hey, this is your boy Roy Jones, Jr. Fighter here in the building. Y'all already know I got Michael Williams Jr. with me. I got Anthony Murphy. I got a whole group with me here.
Yeah, man. I'm super excited to get y'all up here, man. Before we talk about you and just the legendary thing that you got going on and still got going on, man, I'm gonna you came up here with somebody. Can you say his name one more time for the favor for the people that's listening? Talk. There we go.
It's your boy Mike Jr. 150, aka Boy 1. We up there.
How you feel, bro?
I'm doing good, man.
You see my Instagram live?
I see it.
I've
seen it.
I'm super excited, man. I just want to say congratulations to your success, man. Keep working, man. I support you, man. Keep going. I'm super excited to do too, man. Hey, Jones.
Yeah.
Big dog. I heard you came up here with a surprise for us, man. So
I had to bring you a treat.
you got something you want to go ahead and get exclusive right now. Go ahead and drop that right now.
Exclusive body head.
Y'all must have forgot part 2 featuring Eston Bullet and Marvin Bagley of the Sacramento Kings, NBA player. Yeah, that's him. Dealing up with Roy Jones Jr. Fighting head is back.
Yeah. Y'all heard me say it's about that time, man. I need y'all keeping it locked right here on 104.5, man. This is an exclusive. Y'all must got it.
We going in?
We back now.
I'll go ahead and get to my part.
All right, my man. Yeah, okay.
I mean, you got to fight the head. The last time I came out, you have more. Got the highlight date that's on the real. With the rhythm knockout, you never fall. Let's break it down. Go to the stats. There's another battle that neck. 4 different divisions, tell them top that. Future home, everybody get out that. See, y'all motherfuckers got what we're going hard. Scared of the dogs, jumping in the yard. Getting in the game, cause I'm over the ball. You can't rise up, the word of the ball. Back to the back, man on attack.
Let's go. Keep going. Let's go.
Shout out to Bullet, baby. Shout out to Bullet.
Jay Ocho, appreciate you. Andrew Charles, appreciate you for tuning in. Appreciate y'all for pulling up. Team Williams. Roy be burning it, don't
Body head.
Roy still spitting that venom, dog.
150, baby. 150, baby. Why? That's fire, bro. It's fire, dog. Hey, Roy. Yeah, bro. Fire. Hey,
Yes, sir.
I listened to. I got a sneak preview. He gave me a preview of Body here, y'all. It's fire. I ain't saying that. You see for yourself. You don't remember the first one? Yeah.
All right, so we not just dropping 2 singles. We got to go ahead and push this thing.
I heard about 5 songs you let me hear, Roy. Bro, every song was crazy.
Well, he dropped about.
There you go.
First one was fire. The second one is even better. Every song was good.
Every song.
This is Michael Williams Jr., man, North Carolina. Team Williams on deck, man, with the one and only legend Roy Jones Jr. His pops, Michael Williams Sr.
Shout out to Wido, baby.
I don't know why the mic's so low. Fernando El Terrible on deck. What's good, Fernando? Say, little bro 150 about to shake up the division. Man, y'all don't know, man. Shout out to Fernando,
Magic, baby. Shout out, baby. Rest in peace to him, baby.
Shout out
Rest
to
in peace,
Fernando
Magic,
in
baby.
the building, body head. That's another one of Roy Jones Jr. fighters that train with him too. Fernando El Terrible Bunch, man. Salute to you, bro. I'm glad you recovered from your operation.
Yes, sir.
Energy. We like legendary energy.
I'm gonna bring the energy back, baby.
I got a legend out there. Exclusive.
Yes, sir.
Yo. Oh. Hey.
Ain't no half stepping when they come up with bananas. I'm getting less.
You already know that. And I know you already know, bro.
Hey, why? It's just all right, bro. Juvenile! Let's go, baby! That's my talk right there. That gun talk, baby. That gun talk. Oh, let's go, baby. Woo!
Man, y'all didn't. Man, what other retired boxer can spit like that? What other retired boxer can spit like the legend Roy Jones Jr., man? Come on.
Shout out the movement. Shout out everything. We see y'all. We support y'all. The city right behind y'all, man. Anything I want to say before y'all
This dude is my age, dog. Roy's a year older than me.
Love y'all. Always come back here and be with y'all. Y'all welcome us in when he was just out. Y'all welcome y'all for all years. And when I see things like that, they want that. Mike, you got
2-6.
Y'all always show love. I love y'all. I love support y'all too, man.
Michael Williams Jr. heading in there next week against John Bowser. There he is. For those of you that don't see him much, there he is. That's what they do, man. 104.5 FM WCCG, the hip hop station.
It's going down, man. ESPN Plus, man. Y'all get it. Y'all get it. It's going down, man. I'm telling you.
2-6. Word.
come back up here. I might even bring SM Bullet with me. And we'll go through the whole album with you.
SM Bullet nasty, dog.
Thanks for the love, bro.
SM Bullet nasty, dog.
We out, baby. Michael Williams Jr. body and...
So there you have it. Everyone who was privileged to get a taste of that. I don't know how long they're going to keep the live up. That shit probably copyrighted like a mother. But I had to support the team, of course. Hold on for a second. What am I doing? Yeah, I had to definitely support the team. I appreciate the ones who showed up. You know, you had another one of Roy Jones Jr. fighters in the building, Fernando Bunch, Mr. El Terrible himself, man. You know what I mean? He's out there doing his thing. He's a rising star in boxing. So y'all be sure to check out Fernando Bunch. And also Andrew Charles, man, Jay Ocho. Appreciate everyone who dropped in to support Team Williams. He has a big fight, so just because he's fighting on Top Rank and you're not a big name that's on the headline or the co-main, you got to do your own self promotion. So of course, he's trained by RJJ and his pops Michael Williams Sr. So they got to do their own promo. You know what I'm saying? They have to do their own promo. So that's how it goes down, man. The grind never stops. We're trying to go ahead and get this 20-0, man. 20-0 is the goal. As I said before, both of these fighters, have O's on their record. John Bowser's had the opportunity to fight on Top Rank, of course. A bigger stage. Michael Williams Jr. has fought on UFC Fight Pass before. Both of these fighters gonna go in there and put on that night. You know what I'm saying? Next week is going down, man. They're gonna go in there and put on. I'm pretty sure Michael Williams Jr. is gonna bring his A game. John Bowser is gonna bring his A game, and they're gonna clash. You know what I'm saying? That's the only way it's gonna go down. They're gonna clash, bro. But if you don't know how it's done, you have to understand he's about to go in there for his 20 professional fight as an independent fighter all this time. So they've been able to successfully make it to 19-0. That's not easy. Many have tried, many have failed. It's not easy. And look, you can say it's all about the resume on working your way up to the top. It's not that easy. Them fights ain't free. And if you take some of these fighters with all that experience, then guess what? If they more experienced than you, they should give you the L. You know what I'm saying? If you really haven't stepped up to the plate and fought nobody, and you have fighters that's over 30 plus professional fights, and you keep maneuvering through your boxing career, you're gonna run into some tough fights. It's not ABCD. It's not as smooth flowing as that. So man, I'm definitely happy, man. I'm looking forward to next week. The stage is set. ESPN Plus is going down. And I'm just asking everybody to tune in and support if you have ESPN Plus. Andrew Charles says fire. That's amazing. He needs all the support possible when it comes down to it. He's a rising star in boxing, and everybody has their shot. So this is this window on the big stage. His name has been floating around here in the YouTube community. I know I've been speaking on Michael Williams Jr. for quite some time. I've covered him pretty extensively. So, on the YouTube circuit, they've been on my channel. They was just on my channel not too long ago. And, the coverage don't stop. But this time right here next week, this is entirely different stage that he's going to be fighting on. He's going to be fighting beneath the Top Rank banner. If anyone who knows and follow boxing, that's huge. It doesn't matter if you ain't signed with the promotion. You're fighting beneath the banner of the flagship of boxing promotions, Top Rank. So guess what? It's going to be a whole lot of eyes looking. And I like it. You know what I'm saying? I like it. That's what it's supposed to be. There's going to be a lot of eyeballs. Be individuals that's going for John Bowser. And there's going to be a hell of a lot of individuals and fans. Hold on for a second. Y'all. Yeah, I'm back at it. Appreciate y'all for holding tight. Yeah, so yeah, I know we have fights going on this week. You know what I'm saying, this weekend. But I was just letting y'all hear the local promo coming out of North Carolina for Team Williams as he finishes up training camp, of course, and he get ready to, take that flight over there to NYC. The fight's going to be at Madison Square Garden on the undercard of Vasil Lomachenko and Richard Comey, two former world champions. You know what I'm saying? Both of those individuals have fought Teofimo Lopez, who himself is a former world champion, former unified world champion, is Vasil Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez. So, both of these fighters right here has stepped in the ring with Teofimo Lopez and was defeated. All right. So it's gonna make for a very good fight come next week with those two headlining. Everybody talk about high tech. Everybody talk about the toughness of Richard Comey and his power. Richard Comey is coming off a stoppage of Jackson Marinez. Same fighter that Rolly Romero went the distance with and was presented a gift before Christmas. Now we have, the undercard, nice stacked undercard, and we're gonna have Michael Williams Jr. on ESPN Plus facing John Bowser. Both of these fighters seem like good guys. I seem like good guys. They're not trash talking or whatever. I know Michael Williams Jr. I don't know John Bowser, but from what I know, John Bowser is not a bad dude. You know what I'm saying? He ain't on here going in with trash talking and making it a dirty personal type of clash between them two. They both got to get in there and make it happen. Period. Williams Jr. and Bowser have to go in there and make it happen. You know what I'm saying? 20-0 sounds way better than 15. You know what I'm saying? A 16. 20-0 is a huge accomplishment. 19 just to get to 19-0 is amazing. Hard work, dedication, and sacrifice. So, man, y'all continue to tune in and make this shit happen. And next week it's gonna be full blast media coming out of NYC. Real talk. It's gonna be full blast. There's gonna be a lot of content coming out that week. I think the fight week schedule, it should be coming out at the end of this week. The fight week schedule. So be patient and stay tuned. Hold up for a second. So the good thing about it is that you have these two big fights this weekend coming up. Of course, you have Devin Haney, Joseph Diaz. And then you have Gervonta Davis and Isak Cruz. And then it prepares you and gets you ready for next week's fight. You know what I'm saying? You get a prelim to the prelim, because he's going to be on the prelims, and he should be the last fight before the main card. But, with Top Rank, they always put the schedule out and it changes. So he might be on the televised portion of the fight. You know what I'm saying? Either way it goes, you can stream ESPN Plus, and then you can see the fight on ESPN, when it gets to the main card. So just be wishful that it may take place. It may be televised on the main card. Let me check something out right quick. So I just want to touch lightly on a topic that we was discussing about the Bud Crawford Errol Spence situation. In some people's corner, they're trying to say that, Errol Spence accolades are welterweight. I mean, the string is just about popped. You know what I'm saying? It's popped and frayed on singing the same violin music on this. But to some people, Errol Spence 2 titles at welterweight is enough to say he's the A side of it all. Single division, IBF and WBC world champion. He's the A side. And then when it comes to Terrence Crawford, he's just a WBO. And they try to make it seem like that you just need to erase all those accolades. And then it just goes out of space from there. It goes out of space from there. It's just like you're in space already. You pop in the hatch with no mask on. And you're taking the deep breath, say, I'll be all right. It looks so peaceful out there. And then you jump your ass out there and you're done. You know what I'm saying? It's like that with this fight. And for some reason, we're no closer. We're no closer to this fight. Why? Because Errol Spence has to come back from an eye injury. We're no close to having Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. We're no closer. But somehow, some way, the buzz has been picking up. It's been amplified a bit more as of recent. Maybe because Terrence Crawford just fought Sean Porter. So imagine this. Imagine all the buzz that has been going on just because Terrence Crawford fought Sean Porter and Errol Spence is not laced up. Errol Spence has been out with an eye injury. Again, with something. He's been out the ring. But this is what I said. If you are willing to negate the accolades, and all of a sudden I'm hearing A side, B side talk, it's always about numbers, A side, B side. We cannot ignore the fact of the accolades and accomplishments. So I thought I broke it down as basically as I possibly can. That was explaining, if you ignoring the accolades when it comes to the A and B side, this is just an example I was given. Because if you're going to say the accolades doesn't matter for Terrence Crawford, they don't matter for Errol Spence neither. So therefore, in order for us to truthfully and honestly and fairly determine the A and B side outside of the accolades of championships, then we can't talk about PPV numbers. Because without a championship belt, who is really paying to see these fighters fight? If they don't have no straps, let's just say Errol Spence, take away both of his titles. I know he fought, he fought for the championship. Take away both his titles. Is he generating PPV numbers? Because what entices PPV is the whole entire Wall Street of the boxer who's fighting on PPV. What do they have to offer on PPV? In this case, with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. You know what I'm saying? Usually the challenger is challenging for the titles, and that challenger have a big enough name to grace the square with the champion. That goes for Terrence Bud Crawford, and that goes for Errol Spence Jr. But in this case, the question was posed. I posed the question, if you eliminate the accolades like they try to do Bud Crawford, what other criteria is there to leverage who's the A and B side? Because now you want to talk about numbers. I think when you talk about numbers in a situation that you don't have the entire facts about, you don't have the entire facts on these numbers. People say, oh, Bud did 135, and then they put a dash to 190. No one clearly knows the numbers. When it comes to Errol Spence, he may have did 300K, but when his fans get up here and they talking about, oh, he was just touching the mill. He was touching them M's. He did goddamn 999,000. We really don't know the true numbers, especially when it comes from across the pond. So it's something I don't do. I don't pocket watch when it comes to this shit. What's going on, sir? Senior on deck. I don't pocket watch. But I posed a relevant question. If you don't want to acknowledge the accolades when it comes to Bud Crawford in comparison to Errol Spence, if you want to sit there and say, if you don't want to sit there and listen to what I'm posing, okay, how do we leverage the criteria for the A and B side outside of the accolades? It'd be very hard to do, right? Because to me, if you take away Spence titles, then Terrence Crawford, you just take away the period, the welterweight. Then we just have to go off. What have they accomplished since being in the welterweight division? And then, of course, we're going to be comparing, who they fought. You know what I'm saying? It gets very cloudy from there because within that, who they fought, it was championship belts that was included, right? But I'm just saying, basically, you take away that, you got to compare resumes, right? So let's take away who they fought at welterweight to compare A and B side. What's next? Then we have to go on what they have in their career. That's very difficult to do because pretty much Errol Spence's campaign has been at super welterweight. Terrence Crawford has fought at 35-40 prior to moving up to 47. So it gets real chaotic when people want to eliminate what Bud did at 140, moving into 47. And now it's all about, well, I played the audio. I guess the audio don't matter. They want to say who's ducking who. But when it comes down to it, it's a lot of people that'll sit up here and say, Bud fanboys or whatever, but yet you get so emotional because you believe you have home field advantage in freaking supporting Errol Spence Jr. I have no fight in the game with Omaha, Nebraska. But I know a lot of his voices that's over there in Texas. What are you going to do when he steps in there and get his ass beat by Crawford? How are you going to go to work the next day? You going to take it out on your freaking coworkers? You're going to stop covering boxes, period? Why y'all don't get this emotional about the Charlos? See, you can't sit up here and come up with all these side scenarios and freaking try to elevate Spence's Wall Street in boxing just based off the minute accomplishments he's been able to achieve. And he had plenty of time to do more. He had plenty of time. He fought Kell Brook. Kudos. After that, Lamont Peterson. I mean, what are we saying? Carlos Ocampo, Mikey Garcia? And then we want to bring in Sean Porter and Danny Garcia. I mean, it's not astounding. Believe me, this shit is not astounding. The only thing that's really buzzing is when we have a panel discussion of different views and there's a debate. There's an open panel debate, whether it be of peace or fury. It can be of peace or mayhem. That's boxing debates. But if you're going to cry and whine and sit up here and try to make it personal just because you're trying to not understand where I'm coming from, if you eliminate the titles between these two, what else is there? So if you're going to include the titles of Errol Spence and the accolades, you have to include the accolades of Terrence Crawford. Why are y'all cats up here trying to change shit up, right? Y'all want to act like y'all all about change, and it deals with these numbers. Last time I checked, like Nip said, Errol Spence numbers don't come close to what Floyd did. Is Errol Spence numbers coming close to what Canelo is doing? Pacquiao? Because y'all acting like the only time Spence numbers even matter is when the name Bud Crawford is in the conversation, bro. And then y'all cats will be on somebody else's panel trying to go at me, but you never want to show up on my panel. And I don't even hold panels like that. But if I see you in the live chat, then okay. You say you want to get on, you get on. I'll drop the link. But y'all don't be trying to do anything. Y'all wait till y'all get around comfort. I don't have to wait on comfort, bro. I'll pull up, show up. I can have a boxing debate, a dialogue with someone without it getting all dirty. Now, yeah, I may pick up my tone and meet your energy. That's what it's about. When you try to talk calm to the cats, they don't respect it. They try to overtalk you. So guess what? I'll overtalk. I'll do the same. If you're not willing to understand that our whole entire basis in life is just simulation, all because we do it. Our whole entire life is a simulation. Time, everything. It's just simulation. When you hear all these celebrities up here putting these motivational quotes out there, it's all from struggle, right? But they always tell you, if you set your mind to something, you can do it, right? So if you got to set your mind to do something, what does that mean? You have to have an imagination. You have to create a picture. That may be something far out of your reach right now. But if you continue to speak it, just like Deontay said, speak it, believe it, receive it into existence, and work your ass off to get it, it will happen. So when it comes to scenario-based dialogue, don't act like you never did it in your life, dog, only because it's coming from WCS. Shit. Because I definitely think, in a lot of things, it's a thought process. I'm not claiming to be no Einstein about anything, but when it comes down to what I understand about the process of living, the process of what people consider successful, everybody's level is different. But when you had people do something that's never been done in life, they had a thought process to make that shit happen. They imagine how it's supposed to be. So with that imaginative thought, they start putting shit together. It was cataloging it, a mental catalog, or they made copious notes and wrote that shit down. When they kept a running script, an archive, and they kept putting the pieces together, and they made the shit happen. Boxing, when it comes to debate, can be scenario based, because when boxers are out here taking all this punishment and sparring and then going into the ring, their projection is setting a goal. You ever heard of GOALS? Goals? Goals is something that you're seeing forward. This is my goal to reach. How do I get there? Well, in order for me to get there, I need to fight so-and-so. And then after him, I fight him. That's a goal I have. It's all part of your imagination. You just have to make sure that you put the important criteria together and follow it, and then execute deductive reasoning. For those of you that understand what deductive reasoning, you have to put everything together. And if the formula produce the results that you want, then fine. If the formula doesn't produce the results that you want, you have to revise it. You have to revisit and see what's missing to the formula, and then try to put it together for the results that you want. It's called trials. You take the errors from those trials, you improve the errors, and you go back and try it out again. In boxing, they are constantly changing shit. We can sit up here and debate forever and a day, but when it comes down to these two stepping in the ring, they nowhere close to stepping in the ring, man. We can do 100 fucking lives about what each boxer said. It's not going to change shit when it comes down to it. It's good for conversation. I'm going to tell you what I think. I'm going to always tell you all the way up to the final second of the bell ringing. And once that bell ring during the fight, I'm going to say, hey, Bud Crawford's gonna defeat Errol Spence, because that's what I believe overall. But see, this what I understand about Errol Spence fans. This is just my perception. Outside of all the raising of the voices and screaming and yelling and trying to prove that, let me articulate how I believe that Errol Spence is this, that, and the other. Deep down inside, where it's warm, at the core, or where your heart resides. You truly don't believe Errol Spence can defeat Terrence Crawford. Errol Spence continue to go through things, and you don't even think his body is built for this anymore. You know he's a fragile individual. All the boogeyman talk, the man down, you don't believe that no more. Saying that he was a weight bully, yeah. If you got them undisciplined and eating ho-hos and Twinkies doing the fights, of course you're going to be a weight bully, but you ain't competing. When your fighter admits that he made it harder to step in the ring with Sean Porter, what is that saying? What is that saying? He's admitting that he's undisciplined doing fights, in between fights. He's undisciplined. So doing fight camp, you're not just going in there sparring and, putting in work, training, doing that. You're busy trying to lose fat. Did you see that picture of him jogging one time? He had his shirt off. How in the hell are you going to allow a picture like that where it looked like he had gained so much weight, looked like he was running with breast? Men, we have pectoralis. But Spence, he had gained so much weight, he was out there doing road work, and that was a testament of his undiscipline. But it's easy to get on the panel. That's one thing about me. Like I'll just show up to the panel. I'm not tag teaming people. I'm not tag teaming grown men. I respect the ones who get up there and don't take the shit personal. And then the other ones who sit up there and they want to talk about shit that don't have anything to do with boxing. You know what I'm saying? They want to make sure that it's all insults, obscenities, derogatory statements. But we're not talking about boxing. We still on boxing? Or what are we talking about? People that you never met in life. They try to pull that shit off with me because I just say this about Spence. I don't think he's capable in this era of defeating Bud Crawford. I don't think he's capable. He's 31 years old. He's younger than Bud Crawford. And I truly don't think he have a long time left in boxing. I don't think he has a long time left in boxing. So therefore, what I'm saying is he may not be successful if he move up to 154. I would put out to him, I would say, hey, I suggest that you get on the move if you want to, accomplish another division. You're just 31 years old, so he has a good 5 to 6 years left. But the only thing about it is how he goes about handling his out of the ring activities. That may affect him more than anything. You have to understand the first message that was sent out by Errol Spence after the accident. It says no broken bones. I'm a savage, and then they made him take it down. But look, his fans won't even mention shit like that. His fans won't mention anything about his fuck ups outside the ring. Oh, they say, oh, now you're getting personal. But these must be going in on Crawford, though. And then you wonder why Team Crawford be sending them arrows right back down the line of fire. Because the only thing you can talk about is creative, shit you create that's basically derogatory about him. Because you can't say anything else that he's doing outside the ring that affects your perception. Only thing you can do is what he haven't done in the ring. That shit is fucking played out. That shit has been played out for quite some time, man. It's like an old cassette tape. You have stretched and played that shit forever and a day. It's funny how the narrative changed with these Errol Spence pundits. They'll sit up here, first of all, and say he ain't fight nobody. That was their main talking point. And then they'll turn back around and say what? Oh, his last fight was stopped by Kenny Porter. He really didn't stop Sean Porter. Okay, then you move on. He's fought 2 common opponents. Now, who does more PPV? Why are you grown men really concerned about who makes the most money? Because you're not experiencing any type of benefits from it. So if we took that analogy in boxing and fighters had to step in there about who makes the money, then why the hell are you talking about the best don't fight the best? If we're talking about who makes the most money, if they're not the best, how can they be generating money? How can they generate revenue if they're not the best? So in order to consider somebody the best is what? Oh, PPV numbers? How? Because not every promotion has a PPV structure. So not every fighter that you consider the best has high PPV numbers, because I don't see them. I can put an inquiry in Google right now of the top 10, top 15 boxing pay-per-views. They keep moving the needle, moving the needle, moving the needle. At first, he ain't fought nobody. And then, Jeff Horn ain't enough. It's on audio where Errol Spence say him to get a belt. So if he said for him to get a belt, that was way back when, right? For him to get a belt, Errol Spence is on record as acknowledging that Terrence Crawford needs to get a belt. At that time, Terrence didn't have a belt, so he needs to get a belt. So 6 fights later in the welterweight division, him having a belt and defending it 5 times isn't enough. Now it's all about PPV numbers. Y'all niggas kill me, man. Y'all kill me, dog. He need a title. He get a title. He ain't fought nobody. Oh shit, he defended. He stopped everybody. Oh, what about the PPV numbers? Dude, can y'all please make this fight so we can erase all this PPV talk? Because these dudes going to be talking and bringing up his accident once Terrence get in that ass, man. Once Terrence Crawford get in his ass. Listen, y'all know where my channel at. Don't wait till I get on somebody else's channel and try to call my name and think, oh, I need company. Why y'all brothers need so much company? Y'all don't need no company to a debate if you understand and you believe in what you say. Why y'all need so much company? Look, what's not gonna happen? I'm not gonna be yelling and screaming and somebody just talking down and all that other shit. I can have a dialogue without doing all that. So it is some type of rules over here, but I'm not the one to be putting you on mute. But when you start over talking and getting personal and calling somebody out their name, then okay, that's grounds for whatever happens next. You know what I'm saying? But I'm proving it. I know for a fact that I can have a dialogue without damn insults and obscenities, without us indulging in scatology. I can do it. But people look at what I say about Crawford. Look, you said the same shit. Look, this how you be hating on dark-skinned brothers. When I was supporting Deontay Wilder before Fury, y'all was up there mad and screaming and yelling because you was up here advocating for Fury just because you hated Deontay. Now, Bud Crawford, look, T.O., my other fighter, I always say he's Hispanic, right? He's Latino. He just lost. But I wasn't getting, the only backlash I was getting is because I'm saying he was franchise champion. But all of a sudden, the WBC come out, say he franchised. I don't hear anything. You just hear little crickets. Nobody saying anything. Then with Bud Crawford, the other fighter, you want to hate on another dark-skinned brother in boxing. That's a champion. And then it comes all the other shit. Well, he ain't fought nobody. Okay, he fought somebody. He ain't doing more PPV numbers. He's ducking. I'm like, when does the shit stop, dog? Like, dude, you can sit up here and go through the whole crime. You saying fanboys, but you can sit up here and try to articulate your basically fabricated chronological recollection of Errol Spence's whole timeline, right? But you leave out certain aspects. You leave out certain aspects when it comes down to it. You leave out Mikey Garcia was coming up 2 weight divisions. You leave out the fact that Mikey wasn't relevant. He was undefeated, but you leave out the fact of how much money he made. This is my whole point that I didn't even get a chance to make. Like Mikey Garcia was able to step in there and fight for Spence's belt. And how much money did he make? What was his PPV numbers? Who was the A side, B side? Didn't they both make 3 mil or something like that? How can Mikey come in here and get that amount of money when his PPV numbers is not adding up to what y'all talking about? How can Mikey go in there and want to do the same thing that Terrence Crawford is doing, fight for the belts, and he get paid what he paid without the PPV numbers? So that's why it sucked in its entirety when it comes down to what? Y'all trying to put all this weight on Bud Crawford, saying PPV matters when it came down to Mikey Garcia, PPV didn't matter. When it came to Sean Porter, PPV did not matter. You know what did? The accolades. You know why? Because he had a strap. I repeat, Sean Porter had a strap. Accolades matter. He was a 2-time world champion in the welterweight division. Accolades matter. You know why they matter? If the accolades didn't matter, Errol Spence wouldn't be trying to fight Sean Porter for the WBC title. Why is he trying to unify the welterweight division if accolades really don't matter in the state of what they call it, the state of unrest when it comes to Bud Crawford? Championships matter. That's why Errol Spence is trying to unify the welterweight division. In order to unify in the 4-belt era, Errol Spence need what? The WBO title and the WBA title. Accolades matter. You take away the belts, it's no PPV. What are we going to reference the achievements that Errol Spence has done if you take away the accolades? It's really nothing to get excited for. So you have to add the accolades on both sides. You have to acknowledge what Terrence Crawford has done in defending his title 5 times. You have to understand that Errol Spence has defended his titles. So it's really very minimal separation. It don't matter you raising your voice, yelling, screaming, and want to sit up here and go down the bogus timeline of what you believe Errol Spence did to elevate him above Terrence Crawford. We done heard the same shit, different day. The only thing I'm saying is y'all try to get enough motherfuckers to caveat and co-sign on the damn narrative. And then y'all all speak on it on a certain panel. And then the ones that's not speaking on it, you try to dang crowd, you try to tag team like it's wrestling entertainment, and you try to make sure y'all damn co-sign one another and agree. Yep, facts, cool, facts. And then, if it gets, Fast and the Furious and you're going back and forth, then name calling occurs. And then we become in pursuit of happiness. For real. It becomes a pursuit of happiness then. Everybody's, the shit's intense. Everybody's going back and forth. And the damn host is like, hey, we can't hear one another. Motherfuckers yelling. It's crossfire going on. Hey, you bitch ass nigga. Oh, yeah. You motherfucker. You don't know shit about. At the end of the motherfucking day, none of us are splitting the ropes with them. None of us. At the end of the day, they're not showing you their paycheck. We don't have any solid numbers. They just put any type of number. I wish Eddie Hearns can come over here to the U.S. and he is solely responsible for putting numbers out there for PPV. To hear Eddie Hearns tell it, shit, he tell y'all, Katie Taylor can go up here and she did 1.5 PPV buys, but there's no record of it. Do we ever see UK PPV numbers? I'll take that back. Not PPV numbers. Do we ever hear Eddie Hearns tell the straight up truth? So that's who we need over here for these PPV numbers. Eddie Hearns to come over here and for him to tell the PPV numbers. Because if it's his fighters, He's going to put them way above what they actually did to give us content to talk about. Free Hoover on deck. Big dog on deck. What's good? It's pathetic. Spence versus Crawford might turn into Khan versus Brook. Yeah, man. It's highly possible now that this fight won't happen in 22. It's highly possible, dog. Look, I don't care about people unsubscribing to the channel over a conversation because you act like we're actually severing a lifelong relationship. That's not the case. Like I tell people all the time, when it comes down to subscribers, you really fuck with the ones who show up in your live chat all the time and they have interaction. Those are the genuine people that actually show up. Whether they somebody else or what, we really don't know. But when you have 50K, 60, 70K, 100K, and you go live, only like 300 is viewing 200, that's way off. So basically, the other, the other motherfucking 40K or 50K, they don't believe what's going on. You can have a fire ass live, but all that other 45K individuals that you have as subscribers are not really believing it if they exist, because they're not tuning in and say, oh man, let me drop this super chat. You making all the sense in the world. A lot of what we say on YouTube is based off opinionated perception. Once we voice that opinionated perception vigorously, it does what? You're going to have the healthy responses, and then you're going to have the negative responses that debilitate the entire process and what you're trying to carry out. That's called a debate. It's not personal. The only time it get personal is when someone is incapable of having a decent conversation and disagree at the same time. That's when it becomes a situation where you understand that every human being isn't wired the same. We all been through different things in life, but here on YouTube, the free reign in some cases to sit up here and join panels that may be pro Spence. These guys would sit up here and always say Bud fangirls. That's just a juvenile way of trying to get in somebody's head. Because if you're advocating for Errol Spence Jr., what are you? If you're advocating intensively for your fighter, what are you? You're a fan, right? You're a supporter, right? You can't call yourself a friend. I don't know you. He's not calling you up and asking you for advice. You're not a friend. You're on the outside and you're an associate, somebody that if he recognizes you, he can say, you know what? I consider that person to be cool. But as much as we up here talking about this shit on YouTube and going in and motherfuckers losing their mind. Look, I said it before with this, when people have open panels and shit sometimes. This affects certain individuals when they go to work. They are providing for their families. These cats go to work pissed. Some of these cats will go to work and they say, I can't believe what WCS said about Crawford, man. That nigga, he don't get it, man. He don't get it, dog. I get it. I get it. 100 thou wow. I get it. Don't discount. Just don't basically try to wipe away a scenario that I gave you because you can't really process it in its entirety. Don't act like every scenario you give just because you sit up here and host a panel is right. Like if I gave you the scenario based off what you're saying doesn't count for Crawford, and I say, well, extract that from Errol Spence, take away the WBC and the IBF. What are we basing the Alpha Bravo side off of? What criteria are we basing it off of? What have they did to separate one from the other? They're fairly close in the welterweight division. They're fairly close. But these cats want to talk about PPV numbers. He did more PPV numbers. Seriously? Like seriously, man. Like, do you really know? And this is why I give what I give. Y'all listen up. This is why I could care less the pocket watch. This is why I care less the pocket watch. Because no one knows the exact numbers, first of all. Second of all, you don't know the percentages for which they're paying out to everyone that's on the team. There are mandatory payouts that has to be taken care of and resolved. At the end of the day, third, you don't know how much that fighter is taking home. So do we sit up here and say, well, guess what? He's doing higher numbers than Terrence Crawford. But I'll be petty and say, well, Terrence Crawford only have this person right here and that person to pay. Errol Spence has that person, that person, that person, that person. So then I will have to present receipts on what percentages per person that Errol Spence is paying out. And then I will have to subtract that for what Crawford has to pay out. I will have to do all that algebra and shit and put that together and come back with a mathematical solution. It gets real petty from there because you don't know who's he's paying. But they'll get on here and say, I don't give a fuck about who he has to pay. You should. Because you're pocket watching. You're worried about his money. So worry about his money when it comes to him paying out his people. Because everybody's payout isn't the same. It isn't the same. So this is where the PBC comes in. That's why people love supporting PBC fighters. Because the logic to them is very, very easy. This is like reading a book. Sam I Am Green Eggs and Ham. This is so easy for them to read, right? The first thing they say is PBC fighters, they comfortable. They getting paid nice. Al Heyman taking care of them. That's true. When it comes to anybody else, Crawford, he made poor business decisions and this, that, and the other. So how do we know the business that Errol Spence has basically been a part of in his life, in his professional career? You don't know unless it's made public. So you really don't know the details, right? Like they know a bit of the details that they can latch on to with Terrence Crawford because Bob Arum has always made it very lucid that he's lost money off Crawford on PPVs. Okay. Then we have to look at the fact on how sincere him losing money and buying a house in Beverly Hills really mean. Because if you don't promote a fighter because of whatever reason internally, then you can't place all the culpability on Terrence Crawford. If you want to sit up here and slander a fighter that you're having problems with on your promotion and you want his fans to further give him minimal support, then you can't place 100% culpability on Crawford. Because you're not promoting him, you're not maximizing his promotion. Everybody's structure is different. Al Heyman isn't a promoter. Al Heyman isn't an advisor. Al Heyman is a consultant. And I don't have to bait anybody about it. I promise you, all the people that sit up here and talk for Errol Spence and PBC, I can guarantee you this. I can promise you this with receipts that I spoke to people that actually deal in that organization. I spoke to OGs that deal with that situation that's been part of that outfit since it began. They've been a part of the outfit since Al Heyman started boxing. They've been a part of that when the whole process happened with Floyd Mayweather making the transition to be a part of PBC. I had lengthy conversations in person, face to face with these people. That's on God, like Adrian say. That's on God. The only reason I can't play the audio because, of course, you can't sit there and record somebody in their face. But I know the entire story. These people going off whatever they hear online. Have you spoke down with the OGs that was there in the beginning when Al Heyman was just starting off? How he actually acquired Floyd. Al Heyman didn't want Floyd in the beginning. He wasn't impressed with Floyd. But it's something Floyd said and conversation between the middleman, which was an OG shot caller. It was a whole lot of things that was basic back then, but very street orientated when Al Heyman started to make his move. If you don't have those conversations with the real ones, then if I tell you some shit you haven't been privy to, you're going to shut it down. You're going to say, man, that's bullshit. I'm telling you it ain't. I always seek out conversations like that. I always try to find out. People will give you information. Like they'll tell you, hey, so-and-so over there, he's this, that, another. Or so-and-so. You got to go to fights to figure this out. You can't sit up here and say, I know somebody on Crawford's team. I know somebody on Errol Spence's team. You think somebody on Errol Spence's team is going to direct you to someone who basically knew and was close to Errol Spence back in the day? No. You have to find out by getting through the obstacle course, finding out different names, and hoping they have a conversation with you. You have to request, say, is there any way you got a minute so we can talk about some history right quick? You have to catch them at the right time before the weigh-in. You have to catch them during fight week. And you have to be the type of person that's going to be a listener. And then you ask questions periodically. But I know the entire story of PBC and Al Heyman. I was told firsthand by someone who's still in the music industry that deals firsthand with Al Heyman. You know another thing? I even have his number. That's no cap. I even have numbers. Hoover says pathetic Spence versus Crawford might turn to Converse Brook. Hoover, who said, you think Bud signs with PBC? They'll probably match Bud versus Josecito Lopez. I was hearing MTK, but like I said before, I support Bud Crawford. I don't have one of those. That goes with anybody. Like the closest relationship I have with fighter that I talk to on the regular is Team Williams, right? It's not like I don't want to talk to these people, but I'm a much older cat. So me, you know, I'm like, if I have the opportunity to genuinely have a conversation with somebody, most of the time it's in person. And I have numbers, but even if I have the numbers, I don't reach out. I wouldn't reach out on a consistent basis unless I was absolutely sure that they trusted me and we was cool. You know what I'm saying? You have to build up that rapport, or else if they have any, like if the conversation is short, it's shallow, you know, they really not willing to converse with you rather, then I'm not going to do it. I have a lot of numbers in my phone of people, but I may call them every now and then. I have numbers of people that basically play prominent roles in PBC and Top Rank. I can tell you right now. I promise you, there's nobody else on YouTube that can present an item that I have from PBC. I know for a fact they can talk Errol Spence all they want, but they can't produce what I got from PBC. It's shit that I don't even talk about. I guarantee you, I promise you, there's nobody else on YouTube that has it. And they're going to sit up here and tell me, oh, you're a Bud Crawford fan, you don't have. But I deal with people, though. I deal with people in different promotions. It's not personal, but I'm just saying, I talk to people from PBC. People always quick to mention, oh, you know Watson, you know Sam Watson, you know his brother Brandon and Marcus. Yes, I know. I mean, I've seen them several times. I even know people that know them that has dealings with PBC. I know people that make the shit go around at Top Rank. I'm just saying, there's some of these cats, man. This basic, they pretty much focus on the fighter. They don't communicate with the shakers and movers, the heavy hitters. They don't do none of that. They don't understand that it's conversations that is had that's confidential. So when you speak on shit, you speak on it indirectly. And you're really trying to feed them factual information, but they don't believe it because they can't fathom being in that situation to be told what I'm telling them. So just because they listen to me say it to them, it's not enough. But if I was to get somebody that actually is a part of the damn organization, then they say, but I thought this. No, I just told you what it was. I work here. I talk to these people. That's what they're gonna tell them. I talk to these people. I know what I'm talking about. Okay. I just never heard that. Of course you haven't heard it. Because a lot of you cats don't go to fights. A lot of you cats think because you got Bomac's number, it's all good. Bomac is only going to tell you what he wants you to know. You'll find out more speaking to people that's attached to the team instead of the ones that's right there in the circle. You got to speak to someone that actually knows everything that's going on with the team, that you don't see them around all the time. Believe me, it's out there. You say, I got Bomac's number. None of you gonna say you have Terrence Crawford number to call up on the regular. Okay, you say you got Bomac number, you got Bernie, and I don't even want to say the other guy's name that's part of the team, but most of the time it's Bernie and Bomac. Bernie and Bomac has been around that circle for so long, they only gonna tell you what they want you to know. But me, I know people that knows the team. They can tell you everything you need to know about what's going on. What's about to happen, all that shit. You have people that's tuned in to support Errol Spence, but you got Derrick James that he's running a motherfucking asylum. He don't want nobody up in the gym. He don't want you recording shit. He don't want this. He don't want that. But all of a sudden, it's footage leaked of Errol Spence looking bad in sparring. We can't keep everybody out, huh? I'm just saying. How can you all think I'm going to respect the level for which you're presenting me information when it's all public record? Just because you stay in Texas don't mean shit. You really don't have access to Errol Spence like that. You might know somebody that's associated, one of his friends or something, that might tell you, yeah, I know this. You know what he got going on? They're going to tell you, no, not really. But he may be fighting this person. They don't know. It might be absolutely wrong. I need to know if you're speaking to a heavy hitter, because from what I know about that camp, it's not much information you getting out of dang Errol Spence and Derrick James. So you being in Texas is not enough for me. You got to speak to somebody who's actually a shaker mover. And then when you provide the information, they believe you're supposed to present them with receipts. And I'm like, no, get out there and grind on that shit, man. Find out for yourself. Meet that person. Find out who they are. Just like I did. People can say, oh, well, I'm tuning in to WCS. Ben Israel on deck, man. What's good with you, Ben? Facts, we don't need to know how much they make as long as the best fight the best. And that's true words, Hoover. What money is going to do with the best fighting the best? Hoover, what do you consider the best? Someone who's basically achieved a certain amount of accolades to put them at the top of the rankings, right? That is the best fighting the best, because you believe what they've been able to accomplish at this point in time, whatever division it is, it matches them up with somebody else that is considered the best. That person may have one title in their possession, vice somebody they have two, but they're considered the best. In this scenario at welterweight, both of these fighters are on the pound for pound list. They are the best. On the pound for pound list there, Hoover. Do they state PPV numbers? On the pound for pound list, Is it PPV numbers? It's Alexander Usyk who sits behind Canelo Alvarez. And then when you break shit down like this, they'll be like, oh, I don't give a fuck about that pound for pound list. I don't give a fuck about it. But look, on the pound for pound list, bro, on the pound for pound list, do they talk about PPV numbers? On the pound per pound list, do they talk about PPV numbers? Once again, if accolades don't matter, why isn't Errol Spence? If accolades don't matter, why isn't Errol Spence up in front of Terrence Crawford on the pound for pound list? Anywhere. Anywhere. If accolades don't matter to the Errol Spence holics, the Spencer holics, if it doesn't matter, why is he sitting in front of Errol Spence on the pound for pound list? Why, once again, to the Spencerholics, why is Josh Taylor ahead of Errol Spence on the pound for pound list on Ring? Why, man? Why is Errol Spence sitting at number 6? Are they gonna say, well, because he had an eye injury and during his hiatus, Josh Taylor, he was able to go in there and beat Jose Ramirez for the unified titles. So, Josh Taylor's been more active than Errol Spence. But why is Terrence Bud Crawford number 3 now and Naoya Inoue is number 4? The people that's behind this pound for pound list, they are respected in a sense, even though we really don't know what drives the criteria when it gets down there to 7 to 10. But what we can say consistently is that Errol Spence and Terrence Bud Crawford have been on the pound for pound list for quite some time. What we do know, there have never been a shift from Errol Spence to basically surpass Terrence Crawford on the pound for pound list. Terrence Crawford defeats Sean Porter and they move him in front of Inoue. He's right behind Alexander Usyk. But they're talking about PPV numbers, people. They are talking about PPV numbers because now they want to basically eliminate the pound for pound list and then they're going to take it to the welterweight division. That is how pitiful the thought process, how limited it is when it comes to this YouTube debates. They're very restricted. And listen, if I want to just stay on my channel and talk my shit, it's easy. But I venture over into the backyard of somebody else's damn lives. It's just my mentality is different. I just look at this shit like it's so many cases and layers that you can speak on, right? They want to isolate this shit to the 147-pound division because it's easier for them to come up with bogus, fabricated, phony-ass material to elevate Errol Spence above Terrence Crawford or PPV numbers. But yet and still, when a common man with common eyesight and common fucking sense can look at the pound for pound list and say, damn, Terrence Crawford is ahead of Errol Spence. He's not one slot like it used to be. He's sitting at number 3. Errol Spence is sitting at number 6. Crawford 3, Errol Spence 6. How? How could Josh Taylor be ahead of Errol Spence? What are y'all talking about? It's not based off accolades because when Josh Taylor became unified, he moved in front of Errol Spence, dog. What the fuck? Why is Inoue, who fights at bantamweight, in front of Errol Spence? Because of accolades. Isn't Inoue like a 3-division champ? Accolades. Teofimo made the pound for pound list because he beat Lomachenko. How can you isolate your conversation just to a division and say, when it comes to dang Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, it's PPV numbers. It's bogus, dog. It's absolutely phony, man. It's just like considering Halloween to be a legitimate holiday. Man, y'all need to respect Halloween, dog. You don't want to piss off Halloween. Y'all need to pay more respect to Halloween, for real. Y'all need to stop playing around, man. It's gonna come back and hunt you. Being said, World Combat Sports Shalom. It's man down today, tomorrow, and forever. Man down, shawty. It's hilarious how some people think Sam Watson is Al Heyman. Sam Watson is not Al Heyman. But if you are basically on the exterior portion of this and you don't go to fights and you don't meet certain people, I can see how that perception can become a person's reality. You know what I'm saying? It can become their reality. They continue to catalog shit from the outside. They're not actually physically there. And then, if they really wanted to see what's popping, all you have to do is look at my catalog, right? And see I've done a lot on the amateur and professional level. But they don't want to respect it because why? I'm not on here with 100 people tuned in. But my body of work is, once again, they want to ignore my accolades and say, you know what? It's all about the views. I had this bum ass tell me, he want to tell me some shit that when you tell them to come to your backyard, you know what the cop out is that they believe this is how bummish this was for a person that don't have a channel, an active channel. He say, I want him to come to my channel to bring up my views. If you don't have a channel and you don't have any reference, how are you enhancing anything I have going on? It's just an excuse. Moving on. When you invite people, they say, oh, I want, give me the smoke. Listen, every type of smoke has a different temperature. Real talk. Every type of smoke, there's fire burning. You know what I'm saying? You might be in some smoke where it's just smoldering. And you might be in some smoke and it's fire in that bitch. But when you invite people to come over to your channel because they're pretty much comfortable and they're energized on somebody else's platform, and they may have enough people on there that's basically in agreement to what they're talking about. They may be pro Spence fans. They feel comfortable. But when you try to get them along to talk one-on-one, they ain't cut from that cloth. They want to make up excuses talking about I want them over here to build my channel. How I want you to build anything. All this YouTube shit is fake. It's not proprietary to you. You don't have stock. You don't have no damn residual income that's coming in every month. Talking this boxing shit on YouTube. YouTube is the sole. Look, YouTube is the God. Whoever the person, YouTube in general is taking money from all of our work. So how are you trying to convince anybody? Off views. It's insane, boy. Look, it is absolutely insane, dog. It's almost like these people put themselves in a straitjacket. Oh man, that's nice and tight. I like this. I'm not gonna put any padding on the wall today. I'm just gonna leave it pure brick. And I'm gonna run from one side of the room to the other. Goddamn it! I really want to see what this feels like. I'm insane. You know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. The percentage of YouTube taken off hard work. It's people on here that really have great content. But off the money that you receive, a large percentage of that is being extracted from YouTube. But I admit, it's some people on here that I tune into that has very quality content that I can watch when I'm doing something else. I'll be listening on my phone and while I'm doing something else. And then there's some other ones that I just say, you know what? They'll never get out that conundrum of that bias cloud that stands over their head. And people might say I'm biased, but listen, I'm speaking about a fighter, and I'm telling you stuff that's really public record and stuff that I know that's off record. I'm just telling you what my perception is, that Errol Spence isn't a better fighter all around. You will have certain people admit to it, but they'll get up here close to the fight and continue to say the same shit. You know what? I fuck with Bud Crawford, but I'm going for Spence. You know what? I fuck with Spence. I fuck with Spence though, but I'm going for Crawford. You ever hear this shit that they love to say? You know what? I think Bud will pull it out. I think he'll pull it out, but my heart's with Errol. You ever heard some dumbass shit like that? You know, I'm looking at Errol, man. I know he got it in him, man. I think he can do it. I think he can pull this off with Terrence Crawford, but my heart with Terrence. It's insane, bro, man. For real, it's absolutely insane the way these YouTube, like this YouTube platform empowers people to push narratives. I don't care if everything I say is not believable to the listener. I'm not here to be 100% correct. There's no way that anyone on this platform is 100% correct. But damn, you're going to isolate a preference outside of pound for pound. You're going to say what? That we're going to isolate this to the welterweight division and put PPV numbers in there when you don't have a leg to stand on when it comes to pound for pound list? On the pound for pound list, that's not enough eye test for you because you say, fuck the people who are creating the pound for pound list. I don't care. I'm speaking about what he's done at welterweight. But guess what? It's people that don't give a fuck about what Errol Spence did at welterweight enough to put him above Terrence Crawford. That's why you have pound for pound list. That's why when you had Floyd Mayweather up there, that's why when you hear Canelo, people always say Canelo top pound for pound. He's the cash cow. He's making moves. But then when you mention, okay, Canelo's coming up from 54 with no titles, coming off Chavez Jr., the step in the ring with Gennady. Oh, the reason that they said he had better PPV numbers and he went in there with Floyd Mayweather. So, you know, I'm looking at this. Hold on, let me pull some up right quick. Let me pull some up. Now check this out. This is how it becomes insane there, listeners. Check this out. If you type in the top 10 highest grossing PPV boxing buys ever, you have Floyd Mayweather at the peak, right? At the crest, on the ridge line. Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao, right? Floyd Mayweather versus Conor McGregor, number 2. Floyd Mayweather versus Canelo Alvarez. So check this out, though. So they're basically saying Alvarez off one fight, because no other fighter on Canelo Alvarez's resume can compete with Floyd Mayweather. So he has one fight with Floyd Mayweather that basically contributed to the PPV buys. It wasn't just Canelo. It was really the majority of that was Canelo Alvarez. So when people trying to explain to me that him heading to the first Gennady Golovkin fight, Triple G, and he was the A side with no titles, it was because of this right here. But look, Gennady Golovkin had been in the middleweight division for an extensive amount of time and defended his title several times over. But they say, oh, he had better PPV numbers off someone who's been defending titles for years. Vice Canelo Alvarez coming off a Chavez Jr. fight where it was a 12-round sparring session. And then he steps in there with Triple G, and Triple G is the unified middleweight champion. And Canelo has not a single belt in middleweight, but he is the freaking A side. The A side, B side shit is bogus. Unless you Money Mayweather. Money Mayweather makes that shit shine like a diamond in the motherfucking case because he does the numbers. Those numbers that Floyd Mayweather, it's not anybody out here that's doing these numbers. You know why? Because as I go down to number 4, say Floyd Mayweather versus Oscar De La Hoya. Floyd Mayweather versus Oscar De La Hoya. Who contributed to Oscar De La Hoya? Floyd Mayweather. How can Floyd be the top 4 and you just want to sit up here and say, well, Canelo walked into the Triple G fight and he was doing higher numbers off one division? How many PPVs did Canelo do? And he really wasn't like that, shawty. He really wasn't like that. He wasn't nice like that. Canelo wasn't nice like that coming off one big fight with Floyd. He got his ass beat. Number 5, Mike Tyson versus Lennox Lewis. Notice I'm not giving you the PPV buys and the revenue. I'm just going in order. Number 6, Mike Tyson versus Evander Holyfield 2. 7, Mike Tyson versus Peter McNeely. Number 8, Floyd Mayweather versus Miguel Cotto. Number 9, Mike Tyson versus Roy Jones Jr. Number 10, Evander Holyfield again versus George Foreman. You had Evander Holyfield at number 6 versus Mike Tyson, and Evander Holyfield versus George Foreman. Where are all the rest of these dudes at? Where are they at? Like, where are they? Where is Canelo Alvarez's name on the left side? Right side, where he was the primary dance partner. Somebody tell me if you can find the top 10 PPVs of Canelo Alvarez, if you can find the top 10 PPVs with Errol Spence's name on the left side, that ranks up here enough for us to talk about this shit with relevance. Because I'm sure enough not talking about Terrence Crawford PPV numbers, because it makes no sense to include him in the PPV numbers. Where's all this Errol Spence talk? Where's Errol Spence on this list though, bro? Somebody please help me out. Where's this shit at? Please help me out, man. Ben said, let's make the fight. Absolutely. But we got to talk about it. Ghost to this day on deck. What's good? Drop the link. Let me cook with you. Hey, Ben. Look how long I've been on this motherfucker. An hour and 40 minutes. The last time you was on here, you got emotional. You got there calling somebody a bitch, dog. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if you got damn of what they say, sound mind and body. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what your mindset is there, Ben. What the conversation is going to be like, because you was confusing me last time. Like, I thought you was for Terrence Crawford at one time. You say you fuck with Terrence Crawford, and then you start saying how big Bomac was. I don't, you know what I'm saying? And then you say, you act like you was fucking with Errol Spence. And then you was back on Terrence Crawford, and then you went over here to Canelo. The goalpost was everywhere. I was like, God damn, I had to tell the person who was holding the ball, say, hold up. I don't know where the goalpost at no more. For me to line this shit up. Where's the goalpost now? I thought it was in the parking lot. The bitch was in the highway, and then it was in a creek bed somewhere, and then they moved that bitch on top of a damn mall. They brought it back down and put it on the railroad tracks. I'm just fucking with you, Ben. For real talk. Ben started going off, man. 60-40 personal, or are people taking it personal? The percentage, man, has really nothing to do with the YouTube community except for their own opinions. But the problem that we having, Ben, is the fact that people want to pretend like they're the one that's drafting up the numbers. They're up here pretending like they're drafting numbers. They are the ones that's at the table talks and negotiation drafting up numbers. The only thing WCS is talking about what I believe that'll happen and what has happened. And I'm doing split comparisons, and I'm providing my opinionated response. I'm not telling you have to believe everything I'm talking about. But they act like when it comes to this 60-40, well, Terrence Crawford should just take it. That's slave mentality. I guess we have to be in the month of February to sit up here and boost up these black fighters, huh? Because they'll sit up here and say everything that Bud Crawford needs to take as if we're in the field picking corn. You know what I'm saying? And you got to look, you got the chow late. They have some whole kernels over there. They said, just because you're late, we're going to give you this one that's not even fully developed yet. Just take anything. Stop being, extra. Just take what they're giving you. I never heard so many black fight fans that'll sit up here and say what Bud Crawford needs to take against Errol Spence. Like the reason why Bud Crawford haven't been able to basically seriously get a fight with Errol Spence, for one, it would have been good to fight Errol Spence after Sean Porter. But we all know what happened after that. I commend Bud for saying, I don't want to fight an Errol Spence that's broken, that's coming off a dang car accident like that. They forget about how Bud Crawford reached out and said, I hope everything's okay with Spence. After all that cleared up and they start seeing Spence back in public, then they start ridiculing damn Terrence Crawford. Oh, he's ducking. He's ducking, dog. And then you play the audio of Errol Spence and all this get a belt. So if he's speaking from the inception of Terrence Crawford entering the welterweight division, and he's saying get a belt and we'll see what happened, how far do we have to go back? Damn, he never even defended his damn undisputed titles as a collection. He moved up after Julius Ndongo. So if the speech is there and say, hey, Terrence can get the title, who was the first fighter that Terrence fought in the welterweight division? It was fucking Jeff Horn. The same Jeff Horn that had Manny Pacquiao on his resume. But then they try to move that shit again, and they want you to believe that, well, you know what? The dumbest shit ever. This is the dumbest shit I heard. This ranks up there at the top 5. He should have went over there and fought Errol. Right? He should have went and fought Errol Spence first. Like it was that easy. Errol's telling him to get a belt. Just like he's telling other people, get a belt. All right. He should have fought Errol. He loses the Errol. He could have still went back over there and fought Jeff Horn. Isn't that the most asinine shit you ever heard in your boxing life? Oh, he had options. He just go over there and fight Errol. He loses to Errol. He comes back over here with a loss on his record, and then he try to fight his way to get a title shot with Jeff Horn. These brothers be tripping me out, dog. I can't take this shit serious. I cannot lose sleep over this shit, dog. It's just too hilarious. It just makes me laugh, dog. Go over there and take a L. This is their thought. Go take a L with Errol. If you don't succeed with the IBF, you can always go back to Jeff Horn. It's always there for you, dog. Look, that's what the fuck we talking about. If boxing was so simple, the best fighting the best, it'll be able to have transitions like that. But that's not the case, especially in the welterweight division, because we're so far apart. We have a 2+1+1. We have Errol Spence with 2. We have Ugas, and they just taking that man through the motherfucking septic tank. And then they have Terrence Crawford. Terrence Crawford is a free agent now. And these niggas just want to talk about numbers. PPV. But they don't want to talk about P4P. Pound for pound. They want to continue to talk about welterweight. They want to isolate everything to welterweight. He did more numbers than Terrence. But what does the pound for pound say? He did more numbers at welterweight than Terrence. But what does the numbers say? When I read that Terrence did 130 to 190, is that evidence? Is that factual, precise information to the point that there's no discrepancies? There's no room for error. Are those the exact numbers? When we say PPV buys, we need to have an exact number. What is the exact number? Is it 130 or is it 190? Is it 191, 193 and a half? Is it 194, 194 and a half? Which one is it? Okay. Ben want the link, Shawty. I've been over here close to 2 hours. I know up here talking to Ben. It's gonna be another goddamn hour, dog. We'll cook for 10 to 15 minutes there, Ben. And it's probably gonna be others that's coming here. It don't matter. It don't matter. But Ben, we're not gonna go back and forth. Look, look, you're a man. I have no problem with your opinion, but stay on topic, my brother. Stay on topic. Stay on topic this Thursday. They're gonna link, man. See, I'm being in the holiday spirit, y'all. I'm letting Ben back on. Usually I don't do this when cats come over here calling somebody a bitch and shit. Like, no, that ain't me. They're gonna link, big dog. The link is there. Ten, 9, 8. I was just about to say, Ben. I was just about to say, what's up, dog?
Shalom, World Comeback Sport. First and foremost, I want to apologize to you, my brother, from one black man to another one. Like you just said earlier before I got on, even though we have differences, it doesn't give me the right to address a brother like that, though, my G. You know what I'm saying? And I was listening to you a couple of days ago. You was making some beautiful points, World Comeback Sport, for real. And it's just like when you came up with your analogy, your narrative, I'm going to use that word about the franchise belt, but you put it in its proper perspective. A few days ago, my G, you put it in the right order, dog. I was like, damn, this how you supposed to put the shit together, though, my G. This all I'm just saying, though, bro. But how you doing, my brother?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I appreciate the kind words. I know boxing debates get heated. I ain't take the shit personal. You know what I'm saying? Because we ain't been over here on the panel on the regularity. You
One
know what I'm
person
saying?
did. One person did, and I told him, I said, I'm a man of my word. They told me they ain't like my energy with you. And I told them next time you allow me on, I'm gonna be personal because I say that don't make me less than a man. If I'm wrong, I tell you I'm wrong. If you feel like I was wrong, bro, and you did, and I was wrong, I ain't if because I don't want to put no, you know what I'm saying, no narrative on that. My apology, bro, because I want you to know it's sincere. You feel what I'm saying? But my views are my view, just like you just said it a minute ago. Now,
Yeah.
don't change it now. Don't say I'm entitled to my opinion. Then now, no, bro. You entitled to yours. I'm entitled to mine. We can agree to disagree.
Yeah, absolutely. But bitch has nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying, bro? You can feel
Hey,
some type
I
of way, but
apologize to you, my
don't
brother.
bring bitch into it. You know
I
what I'm
gave you
saying?
my olive branch, my G. I
Yeah, I feel
forgive
you.
me.
I
I give
appreciate
you.
it. I
Now,
accept it, bro.
time you go live, I go on any platform and I let that be known, though, bro. You know what I'm saying? But at that time, your narrative was a setting well with me, and I was telling you from a boxing perspective,
Yeah. Yeah.
if I was a boxer, if I was
Hmm.
I'm a boxing fan first and foremost. If I was a boxer, like you were saying, if we listen to Suleiman right now, how he doing the idea with the franchise thing, you know what I'm saying? You said you ain't gonna give me number 15 minutes, so I gotta be fast with it. You know what I'm saying? So if as a boxer, if I sit here and wait on him to make all these things, what I'm supposed to do, and this is what we were speaking about with the Devin Haney situation. And it's a beautiful thing, Tio, and What's up with the Tio thing though? World Comeback Sport, man. What's good with
What you
that
mean?
though,
He
man?
got
That
beat.
boy,
He got
he
beat.
got beat, man. I mean, how you gonna do all this, man? Then lose to Camboso. I'm ready to cut down to 135 World Combat Sport and challenge Camboso. I'm not in, shout out to Camboso. I'm giving him his verses, but I'm not impressed with that combat sport. I'm ready to cut down to 135 and challenge him. And I'll go to Australia straight up. You feel what I'm saying? I know all them people. You was saying something about even with the Devin Haney exactly. You making a good point. But you got to be a little more energy world comeback sport with your things. You making good points. And again, I'm gonna remind you, forgive me, I apologize. You know what I'm saying, for our last encounter, my brother. You know what I'm saying? I hope you take my apology and hope you accept my apology and we can move past that, my brother.
Yeah, we good, man. I just wanted to hear your feedback on either of the points you just made with the franchise or the situation with Errol Spence and Terrence Crawford. Because I look at it like, okay, if this is the way I look at it, bro, like Terrence Crawford's been higher on the pound for pound list, and it has to be some recognition when it comes to the pound for pound list, right? So with that said, we already know that boxing is split up into divisions. And within that division, we have rankings. So in the welterweight division, of course, Errol Spence has one more title than Terrence Crawford. But overall in boxing, based off the accolades on which they've been able to accomplish, Terrence Crawford sits higher on the pound for pound list. So my question is, how can those individuals deny the fact when it comes to just isolating them to the welterweight division? How can you say and make it a PPV numbers type of deal when PPV numbers don't have shit to do with what's on the pound for pound list? It's
See,
based off accolades.
exactly what you saying, World Combat Sport. You making a lot of sense in that category. Just in that category. In that category. Just listen. When you say I be moving the goalposts, I want you not to move the goalposts. In that category, this one you were saying about, man, you talk about you like Terrence Crawford. Exactly, Mr. Six Belt. And this one you were saying, what you mean by that? His accolade is unprecedented. I can defend Terrence Crawford. That's what you was right when you said 1 minute you down. I can defend him on that. But that doesn't turn out to the other side of the boxing business, though. The business side of boxing, World Combat Sport, what I'm trying to talk about. Like you said, he does pound for pound. We can't even argue that. What he did at one, can't even argue that. You feel what I'm saying? A dude went from lightweight, then moved up from lightweight and became undisputed at super lightweight or junior welterweight, whatever division, however you want to describe that. Then went on to move on from that and became a welterweight champion. Defended, then had a knockout ratio unprecedented. But then when you look at the business side, World Combat Sport, this is where everything get twisted at. Because most people look at, man, Terrence Crawford got more accurate. You right. Can't argue that. Give you your kudos, give you all your roses with that. But then when you said which number it is it 191? Is it 130, 135? Those the numbers that people judge the PB, like you want to say, the PPV's numbers on. What is who and you know me on World Comeback Sport. I'm gonna leave that alone for a minute. I support Terrence Crawford. I'm gonna go on your platform and I tell many people, and I told them before, I paid for Terrence Crawford. That little app just when he fought Sean Porter. Yes, Ben Israel paid for that World Combat Sport. I'm a fan of boxing first. I'm a full supporter of EJ Errol Spence, but I support boxing, bro. I ain't gonna sit back because I feel that way. I support it where it need to be supported at the World Combat Sport. I'm gonna support Terrence Crawford. I'm gonna continue to support him, man. I told you he need to leave Bob Arum from day one with that shit he talking about. Because if you look at it, then it's with the Bomac. When I said with the Bomac, like you brought up, I'm just only addressing, and I hope you don't think I'm moving the goalposts. I'm lining it all up, my brother. Just like you said, tell that dude to hold the ball so I can kick it right between, and I'm gonna do that. And Bomac was his manager, though. Just like you said, you you scrap World Combat Sport. I can't argue that against you. You know these people inside and out. Give you your raise. Turn your energy just up a little more. Stand on. If you feel as though Suleiman is doing a good thing with the franchise title, bro, stand on that shit though, my G. Being Israel, just telling you, I'm supporting of you, bro. You a brother. You like me. We may have different views, but if that's what you see fit for the sport of boxing, and you think it's gonna be good for the future, bro, I might not see you good today 100%, but I'm gonna support you. But tomorrow, you be like, man, yesterday you were just talking that shit. And I'm telling you, because I'm gonna support I don't feel just like I tell you again, why you saying that being Israel make no sense. It does, because what that does for a fighter today, like I told you yesterday, World Combat Sport, me being the WBC champion, and you saying you got to wait and sit here and put all this stuff together. But what that does for me, what that does for a champion like Devin the Nightmare Haney. And I respect Cambosa for saying if he get rid of Jojo Diaz, you know what I'm saying, this Saturday, that he gonna handle his business with him. You know, I hope he stick to his word. And you know, like you said earlier, though, I mean, a couple of days ago, World Combat Sport, Floyd gets snatched this rat out of Devin Haney's hand. You feel what I'm saying? He can.
Yeah.
He can. You made a good point with that. Just like I said, some of the points you make, people may not just me, people may not agree with the World Combat Sport. That don't mean you wrong, bro. Just turn up your energy a little more. That's all people understand. Like it or not, they're going to respect it. You feel what I'm saying? It's just like I said, I'm going to come to my platform. I want my brother to think I went out on the wrong note, and you said, bro, I let you on my platform. You did say all that. And when the dude came to me, he said, man, that dude let you, bro. I see what you're trying to do. You're trying to do, but don't do that. That's your brother, bro. And I said, damn, next time he let me on, I ain't gonna even tell you the dude's name. But when he hear that I apologize to you, he gonna say, and he gonna tell you who he was, though, bro. That's all I'm saying.
I mean, I
And the dude
appreciate
don't
that,
have
man.
and the dude ain't had to make me say that though, my G. It was already on my chest because I said, damn, I was dead wrong. Because I don't go on people's platform trolling on that disrespectful form, though, my G. I stand on boxing, give me a boxing IQ, I'm ready for it. It's just like I tell you, just like when you were saying down with the Terrence Crawford, how that line up. Even when you were saying just a minute ago when you said the Floyd Mayweather, when you went up down, all the numbers with the pay-per-view. I was saying to myself, now keep going now. Even though the numbers is big up top, they're gonna get all the way low and you're gonna hear the arrow spins. But then we're gonna break your heart. You had mentioned a minute ago, you said I ain't saying nothing about Terrence Crawford, but you got to mention him because this is a business side of boxing. Boxing is a good sport, but it's also a business too. You know what I'm saying? They prize fighters. They fight for a purse. Where's this purse coming from? How can we contain and keep this purse going? I mean, if Terrence Crawford, that boogeyman, 60-40 is not a bad deal though, man. If I was in Terrence Crawford, I'd fight EJ. And you know how I feel about EJ, World Combat Sport. I'll fight EJ for that. And then on the other end, if I beat him, bro, I might want 80-20 if you want that run back. And the dude got to respect that. Let's make this fight. Let's put all the differences aside. And some people like some people say, not you, World Combat Sport. Some people be saying because of the accolades, he deserved the 50-50. I can't sit here and say what what EJ should do. I can't sit here and say what Terrence Crawford should do or what he should take. But 60-40 to get a fight popping today is not a bad. It's not nothing bad to negotiate off. Like to start negotiating, that's not bad. We might be able to get a 45 fucking what that 55 shit. You know, come on, man. Anything. We can agree on. We can start. Let's start negotiating. Let's start agreeing on this fight. There's two people, and like some people say, the World Combat Sport. This shit done divide friends from friends, brothers from brothers. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? This shit is enough of that shit, bro. Come on, and I'm gonna come to you again. I apologize to you, World Combat Sport. I ain't gonna keep
No, we
apologizing,
good,
my
bro.
brother.
You a grown
But I
ass
want
man.
you
I
to know
got you.
I
I
mean
respect
this with
that.
my heart, though, bro. So when you see Ben Israel, I want you, that motherfucker took. I want you to say, nah, he said that, but then the nigga, But the brother came.
No, man,
And,
you solid, man. I appreciate you.
I
I ain't
want you
petty
to
like that.
know,
I'm an
but at
older
the
cat. I'm
same,
not gonna be petty like that, bro.
I respect that, my G. But I want you to know I was wrong, my G. You feel what I'm saying?
All right, I
I was wrong,
appreciate
my
that,
G.
man.
I was wrong. You was right what you was saying, bro. I let you on. You know, in that trouble. I'm saying, how can I say I'm my brother's keeper when I was like this with my brother? That don't make no sense. If you say make it make sense, that don't make no sense. So that's why I say I'm gonna steer my olive branch again to you, and I thank you again for accepting it. But with this boxing again, like we talking, it don't make no sense for Bud Crawford to sit here and hold up a mega fight like this. This is the biggest fight World Combat Sport than Canelo, Alvarez, and whoever he fought it, bro. I'm guaranteed this thing gonna do numbers, bro, on both sides of the fence, my G.
Okay, hold up. What you just said. Both sides. Isn't
I,
it about both sides? When the last time
exactly.
boxers
Remember,
get in there and fight themselves? No, they fight an opponent, right? So the dance partner have to be one of value too. They just making it seem like Errol Spence is doing this shit on his own and he's bringing in all these numbers. You know what I'm
what they
saying? He danced with Sean Porter. Sean Porter still had enough Wall Street in the game.
no,
You know what I'm saying? Danny
it,
Garcia,
it
Wall
go
Street
back.
in the game.
It go back to the number World Combat, not to leave the goalpost wide open, just blank, but it goes back to the number. Terrence Crawford is an accomplished fighter to take nothing away from Bud, nothing, absolutely nothing. But we talking about what sells. We're gonna put asses in seat, bro. We're gonna make you and Ben Israel buy this motherfucker. I'm saying it's already lined up. The stars are
What you mean ass in the seats? Like, don't he has to have a dance partner to put ass in the seats too?
this what I'm saying. EJ need Bud need EJ. I'm not taking nothing away from neither of those. I can't sit
For
here and take
PPV. For
you
PPV,
when
right?
that's what it's by, bro. I don't
Okay,
have
for
a
PPV,
exactly
yes.
though.
But for
Exactly.
legacy, no.
But see, for legacy, what you speaking on right now, Bud Crawford is accomplished right now though, Mr. Six Belt.
Correct.
Mr. Six Belt. I told you from lightweight, junior welterweight to welterweight. He did that. Nothing. Right now, he can say, "Man, fuck EJ. I don't even fuck with all the fans. Everything. Walk away from it and fight whoever he wants to." But that doesn't mean what he left on the table. More boxing critics and boxing fans gonna look back and say, "Why he didn't?" You know, when you look at the Mike Tyson era when he fought the Lennox Lewis, which Mike Tyson we got right then and there when the media and the critics and Don King forced Mike Tyson into this match with Lennox Lewis, because this was, you got to keep in mind, this was a convicted, a battered, a bruised. I'm talking about substance and bruised Tyson, not a physical and a mental bruise along with substance. A bruised Tyson when he went in there with Lennox Lewis.
Okay, so what you saying
But
about
when you
that though?
got two
You
fighters right
extracting
now, though,
credit?
when you
You
got
extracting credit?
two fighters right now, it does not. It's not. We got a prime Bud. We got a prime EJ. I mean, why not push this fight, bro? Why
It's a
not tell
prime.
Bud?
It's a prime EJ that had a horrible accident too.
Okay, okay.
Is he still the same? Is he
But
still the
see,
same
that
after the
doesn't.
accident?
But that doesn't take away from a dude want to get in the ring, World Combat Sport. This is where
Well,
you
you
got to
just
stop
mentioned
looking.
Mike Tyson having a drug problem
But
though.
he then I also mentioned he was forced. EJ say he want the smoke. This is where you got to think the two. I'm glad you picked up on that, World Cup. That's a beautiful thing you did. Listen, what Mike Tyson being forced. Lennox Lewis, you can get all this money, and the man was going through so. Instead of the Don Kings of the world saying, "Man, I'm finna send you to a rehab, man, because you need some treatment, bro." You still can beat him, because Tyson at that time still was able to beat 80% of the 95% of them boxers that was there at that time. You know what I'm saying? But he still needed help as a fighter. We got to protect these people, though. World Combat Sport. Even Bud need to be protected. I feel as though Bomac ain't this when you were saying, well, then you look Bomac with the shit Bob Aaron was saying, though, World Combat Sport, and Bomac was his manager. Bomac is his manager. Bomac had more pull to Terrence Crawford than a Bob Aaron, even though Bob Aaron is investor. Bomac is manager, bro. I don't know if he's gonna go to the MTK Global. I don't know if that means just Bomac go from being his manager just his trainer or what. But it was just funny though, man. You let this dude get talked about and abused like that, but then you look at what Terrence Crawford was getting from Bob Arum. I mean, he was pimping him. I mean, shit, he getting $5 million a fight, and I don't give a fuck if it's a tuna can or what. But at the same time, the disrespect, and it still ain't no apology.
The disrespect from Bob.
Ben Israel came to World Combat Sport on his platform and apologized like a man. And World Combat Sport don't got no investment in Ben Israel, and I was man enough to do that. And Bob Arum, fat ass World Combat Sport, that same piece of shit came into boxing to clean up the sport and turned around to being one of the most corrupt promoted in the sport of boxing. Him and Don King together, simultaneous twin. Them fucking devil, them Judas, bro. For real though. And this how I get, and I gotta calm myself down. The World Combat Sport. I get caught up in certain things when I be like, how dare this motherfucker talk about Terrence Crawford like this? And his it came in from Kennedy administration, bro. Shout out to Leon Muhammad, bro. I'm talking about, man, I'm telling you, like you said, you got receipts. I'm telling you, Leon.
Yeah, I interviewed Leon Muhammad. Shout out to Muhammad, man.
All the way back. The man, I'm telling you, the man supposed to clean this shit up, though, bro.
Yeah.
And now how you end up being one of the most screwed Terrence Crawford. You can't do what to Terrence Crawford? And this what I mean, though, World Combat Sport. How can this man or any Bud Crawford fan allow this shit? They supposed to assault this. Fuck, we want to put EJ to the side. But this motherfucker, we finna assassinate this motherfucker whole character as a promoter, as a man, as anything for you to say you done fucked up all your shit in Beverly Hills. You piece of shit. I wish you would. You need to live in a tent in Beverly Hills if it was up to being Israel. For real. How dare you? Come on, man. This is what I was saying, World Combat. And they say MTK Global, whatever it is, peace be unto that brother. Peace be unto Terrence Bud Crawford and all your kids. And I mean this with my whole heart, though, bro. But that doesn't mean I don't think EJ beat his ass, though. That just means I want that brother to be well put together, bro. To invest in himself, to believe in himself, World Combat. And you got to respect that for me. You feel what I'm saying? I'm saying, though, any brother, though, bro, because what we went through, what our ancestors been through in life, though, bro, shit, bro. I mean, come on, we got to take full advantage of what's been presented in front of us today. We can't worry about what happened yesterday. It's too much. We'll be here forever if we be worrying about yesterday. It's about Red 9 and tomorrow, bro.
Let me ask you something. Once again, it's layers to this boxing shit. I'm gonna ask you a question, and you just give your right off the rip opinion. Do you think a fight like KSI versus Logan Paul would match numbers with Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin?
Yes, you said off the rip, yes. And if you want my opinion and why I said
why do you think that?
Because if you look at what they doing right now, it's the business side. I think that shit is a piece of full of shit, though.
No, I'm talking about.
I understand what you're saying.
The fight before.
I understand what you're saying, but I'm saying if you take the because that just really is what they call that bullshit. It's the same thing like you mentioned with Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr. The exhibition. All that just exhibition boxing, though. You feel what I'm saying?
No. It does numbers, though. It did numbers.
It does. See, I'm just saying.
So check this out, though. KSI versus Logan Paul.
It does numbers, though. It does numbers, though. Let me finish, though. Let me land the plane real quick. I'm gonna be real brief. And it does numbers, but it's exhibition. You put Logan Paul in there with Tank Davis. You put Logan Paul in there, even with somebody like a Fred Keith Davis, and let them person earn their keep with what these people have done, what they doing. I respect that what they doing right now. They doing good, great. You talk about close to a million pay-per-view buys, bro, and they only asking for number $50.
Man, it wasn't exhibition. KSI versus Logan Paul wasn't exhibition. It was a boxing match.
They said professional. But
it was a boxing match.
These dudes emerged from what being Israel emerged from trolling, bro. I'm getting to you real. So you won't.
But I'm saying boxing. It is one way or the other. Like one way or the other. It has to do. Look, you have to bring popularity. Okay, if you're talking about numbers, you have to look at how they built their character.
Exactly, and I know where you're going at World Combat Sport. You may think I'm not see you. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. This is like I was telling you earlier that I'm ready to cut weight and fight Count Boso at 135 because I'm not impressed. I fight motherfucking Logan Paul right now with them numbers he doing, because I know what my check gonna be, my G. I'm only worth 100 at the most. Them people doing millions, bruh. I'm ready for that, bruh. I'm
But see,
turning my
Logan
whole
Paul
life
has only
around.
did numbers versus a dance partner like that. A dance partner equal like KSI, and a dance partner with who? The one and only Floyd Money Mayweather, dog.
I think I think Terrence Crawford can do great numbers if he invests in himself. And I don't want to take away from what you were just saying with the Logan and the Paul situation, the
But I
KSI.
just want to know this though, with Errol Spence, has he ever did higher numbers than KSI versus Logan Paul? Because Devin Haney fought on that card.
See,
So it
see,
was a
see,
boxing match. Has Errol Spence did higher numbers?
why we can't just with due respect, why
I'm
we
just
can't
saying,
why we
dog.
can't why we
Has
can't
Errol
stick to the
Spence did higher numbers than
yeah,
KSI versus Logan Paul?
but my rebuttal gonna be to that though on World Combat Sport is what number has your boy did?
No, I'm saying
Then I'm
that's
gonna
it.
say that.
Look,
Then you
he
gonna be
doesn't
saying
have good numbers, but
okay.
the
See,
basis for
then
debate
if he
with Errol
doesn't have
Spence
good numbers,
is
if you just, I'm glad you just said that. If you just can admit that Bud does not have good numbers, and you got a dance
he's
partner,
not
just like
registering
you
good
keep
numbers. I never
just
said he did.
okay, just like you keep mentioning is about the dance partner, and you got a dance partner doing good numbers. Made like you just said, he ain't doing great numbers, but he doing numbers better than yours. He doing double numbers than yours. He doubling your numbers easy with no pressure, and he ready to give you almost half of the pot, bro. Come on, though, make that make sense, though,
Now
bro.
the some people almost
Make
is not
make
good
that
enough there, Ben.
make that make sense, though, and I
Has
respect
Errol
everything.
Spence
The
look the only reason
accolades, the
hold up for a
accolades.
second, Ben. Let me just ask this question though. If Errol Spence, the numbers are always the bow tie that they place on Errol Spence, right? When it comes to comparison to what he's done better than Terrence Crawford. Okay, Terrence Crawford numbers are low, but what can we? You told me earlier if I look deeper outside of the top 10, I'm going to see Errol Spence. That is not true. So I'm asking you, KSI versus Logan Paul, has Errol Spence did higher numbers than them? Two YouTubes?
Okay, what was their numbers? I don't know. Yeah, I ain't. I wasn't.
1.3.
I wasn't.
1.3.
Of course not.
1.3.
Of course not. Of
I'm
course.
just saying
If it was
1.3, big dog.
if it was 1.3, you got that. I wasn't reaching for their numbers. Like I said, they doing a beautiful thing. I ain't taking nothing from Logan and his brother. You know what I'm saying? Cause I think they went from trolling to successful millionaire, some beautiful entrepreneurs, bro. And most people, like I'm telling you, though, World Combat Sports, stay on your ground, my brother. Stay on your shit. 1 minute you make some far-fetched prediction, bro, for real. You
Oh,
be
my
having some other.
predictions suck. My predictions suck.
It be well. Then you'll turn around and you can make the next day you'll be like, damn. You be like, why you didn't say this shit yesterday? You would have cooked every motherfucker. You made the point for real though, bro. I be like, damn, I don't know though, and you be on point though, my G. But only thing being Israel telling you from one brother to just turn your energy up. If you think you're on 10, well, turn that bitch up to a 20 or 19
I
or
don't have
15.
to though. That's not who I am.
Cause
I'm in
yo,
my
cause yo,
50s. I'm
no,
in my
you be on
50s, bro.
point.
I don't do that no more. I'm in my
You in your
50s. I'm
50s?
chilling.
You in your
Yeah,
50s?
man.
Man,
Yeah,
you
I'm in my
sound like
50s.
man, World Combat. And I want to, man, for real, bro. If you are, forgive me again, my brother. I could have sworn you was like in your 30s or your late 20s.
No, man, I'm
That's
in
why
my
I be
50s.
so,
Easy.
man. God, the Most High, been good to you, my brother. You sound good, and I hope the way you sound. I hope you feel the same way and living your life that way. Cause the way you
No,
sound,
in life that don't match up like that, bro.
I don't know though, but you sound good. I hope you feel good. You ain't with no walker or nothing like that. But if you
He
are,
said a walker. God
hey,
damn, dog.
if you are, just do some exercise, bro. It's just what it is, though, my G. I pray to
Drink some
God, though.
Mad Dog up this motherfucker. Drink some damn old dark
Hey,
Paul Masson up in this
nah,
motherfucker.
man, that Parmesan, that brandy, what you don't want, man. You might well get you some cognac, man.
Yeah,
If that's
yeah.
the
I'm just
case,
saying Paul Masson is the cheap man's. You know
yeah.
what I'm
But you
saying?
know,
Yeah, cheap shit.
and you got good energy, though. World Combat Sport. You know, a lot of brothers, though, man. I've been your name bumping. You know, sometimes like even with the I'm gonna get to the franchise, bro, with you. You got good. You
Okay,
swap
it's
that.
good. You talking about? Let me put this up while you're talking about that. I'm gonna put this up right quick. You can tell me what you think about that.
Go ahead.
What you think about that?
That's a
Tell me
George.
what you think. That's George Cambosis IG. And see what he got right there. He got undisputed champion of the
But
world.
see, you heard what he said though. That's what. That see, he asked when they did the fight hub with him after the interview, and they asked him. The dude was asking him. He said, "Who you think you are?" He said, "I'm who the fans want me to be." Basically, that's what he was saying. If they want me to be undisputed, I'm undisputed. What he did say he
That's
was
a
the
cop out.
what?
That's a
No, it's
cop out.
not a cop out. It is. I respect George Campos for that because he even
So
put
you
on.
trying to tell me the fans want him to be undisputed, but
That's
yet and
what.
still
Go,
they
I'm
want the
not.
fight with Devin
Them the
Haney, bro?
receipts. The receipts
They want the
are.
fight with Devin Haney, but they trying to say
He
Cambosos
said
is
he will fight.
undisputed.
He said, and I respect George Campbell. He said he gonna go there. He said he fight. He said if Devin Haney take care of JoJo Diaz, the fight is on the table. But you made a beautiful point before me and you when we was talking. Then you brought up the Tank Davis and how the money team can intercept, and I was like, damn. I mean, people. This is what I was saying. You could have turned that up before it went viral on YouTube when they were like, "Where the money man can come." I was like, well, damn, World Combat Sport did say this shit. You know what I'm saying? You got to give kudos the way you heard the shit from first. You feel what I'm saying? Before that shit started getting breaking, I said, damn, you made some good shit with that. It is what you know, and I told you, man, it's time to turn Tank hands loose. I think Tank will beat all of them but Devin. I think he'll beat Devin, but I think it'll be more of a boxing strategy. He'll have to learn to get inside on Devin. But Devin is a superb boxer than all of them. Me, that's just my opinion. You may think different.
I think both of them can box.
They can box. All of
Both of
them
them
can
can
box.
box.
But I'm talking about the
But who
superb,
has
who got the
wiser?
superior, who have the best. I feel as though Devin just on the box power. I think Tank power is unprecedented. That bitch will knock all the ass out. But I'm just saying you got to get in to put it on a motherfucker to do your thing. Devin, he ain't gonna just get in there real quick with a Devin. Because Devin been trained by some of the best, the most accomplished trainer in the business. I wish he would have still with, Floyd Sr. just ain't, he's, Parkinson is a, shout out to him. But
Yeah, yeah.
man, when he first was with that dude, just look how Devin was then and now. It's like, damn, Devin, you supposed to, something missing. And I still think Devin is a problem from all those dudes, the World Combat Sport. Especially with
So
T.O.
how does it play out between him and Cambosos if Cambosos keep his word?
Oh man, that's a beautiful and that's undisputed. Now that fight is undisputed World Combat Sport. Cause this is what they're gonna have to give the winner of that fight the lights, like I told you when T.O. name was not. If you look at that fight when T.O. after with the Canelo fight, this is what I was saying. Look up, they had even Clarissa Shields. They had a woman up there. They had Terrence Crawford, brother. Your favorite fighter was up there.
Yeah, with the four belt
Lopez.
era. Yeah, the four belt era. Yeah.
Teofimo Lopez. If this the same era, why his name? Because that like you just said a minute ago. Give
Till's
give
name
that
wasn't up there
franchise
with those
give
guys.
that franchise time. Give it some time, and then when you meet them people with the franchise title and have the same accolades, the same accomplishments like a Teofimo Lopez in a Camboso, the back like in the future, they're gonna look back on the Teofimo Lopez and the Camboso. I pray that Devin Haney get this fight real quick to clear this up. Because they're gonna look back on it. You're gonna make a lot of sense, World Combat Sport. For real, I'm telling you this now. I see the point you making, bro. They're gonna look back, they're gonna say them dudes was undisputed back then. Because if y'all making this law here now, that means it had to, what
Yeah,
about
and they're
them
gonna
back
be
then?
part of the franchise era, not the four belt era like Crawford, Olesander Usyk, and
But
all
then
them
that
guys.
means they're gonna have to do away with just the world champion of the WBC. That means it ain't gonna be nothing but a silver belt then, or the
It's
just
gonna be a regular title like the WBA. It's just gonna be
it
a
gonna make it more
secondary title.
okay. Then it gonna be a secondary title then. So that means
That's what it. Yeah,
the WBC franchise is gonna have to supersede that in all divisions because it can't be one and not the other though. This will make it unprecedented. If you got a law over here working for you over here, but it's over here, it's fucking me up over here, and we living in an unbiased world. How does that work? How does that make sense though, World Combat Sport? Because you benefiting over here, and I'm sitting here getting kicked in my ass over here with this shit. Make that make sense to me. But like you said, later on, when this shit become an all body section, and like you cleared it up when you after you throw me off your shit, you know what I'm saying? And you cleared it up, you said it gonna be in all section of bodies. From even a lightweight to strawweight all the way up to heavyweights, it's gonna be a franchise. But then what that does, because the franchise came into play World Combat Sport to make a designation. Like I could challenge you, I could challenge this dude. But then it goes back to you know, it wasn't put out to what you said it was able to do. I thought the franchise title was me. I said, shit, I want to be a franchise title champion because I can call any motherfucker out. Shit, who won't want that title? Man, I think, man, EJ and Bud should be franchise champion. They call each other out. What you think, World Combat? What you think, bro? Shit, if that's the case,
Who should call each other out?
both of them. If you was the if you was the franchise champion at welterweight, and you can use that destination to call any motherfucker out, and you got this motherfucker who everybody said, well, fight here. Well, who capped?
Yeah, but see, that hasn't happened with Devin. I mean, Lomachenko obviously didn't do it. You know what I'm saying? And then when Tio was able to get the belt, he just talked about it. The shit never happened because he chose Cambosis. And then we got Cambosis. Let me ask you a $50 question. Let me ask you a $50 question there, Ben. How many franchise champions have been in boxing so far? How many franchise champions has it been?
Since Canelo, Lomachenko, Tio, and this other dude out down there at the other it's 4. If that's what you want to say, bro. Come on, man. You can laugh all you want, World Combat.
No, check this out.
I'm on
no,
this.
Check this out. It's 5. It's 5.
Who else was the who else? Who did I miss?
You got to put Juan Estrada in there. It's Fasil Lomachenko, Tio.
That's the 4th champion.
I know. Fasil Lomachenko, Teofimo Lopez, and George Cambosis,
then
Canelo.
Lomachenko, then it was Tio, then it was Camboso and Estrada.
That's 5.
But I said the dude in the low. I ain't say the name right. I just missed him, Estrada. I knew it was one of them.
Okay, check this out. Okay, it's cool. You got it. But let me ask you this. So I say it's only 2.
Exactly, and I know where you finna get at with that. I bet I know what you finna go at with that.
Talk to me. I say it's only 2
because how they implemented, how they described it to the world, how they said this all it can be. It cannot change hands, so it should be only just 2.
Who will be the 2 champions?
It would be only just Canelo and Lomachenko.
Hell no.
Then who else? And then who else it gonna be? Who?
It can only be Tio and George Cambosis.
Then how you gonna need Canelo? He was the first one though. Make that make sense?
Because you have to petition. What was Canelo petitioning? Who was he petitioning from? The only ones that have beat champions that was already franchised was Teofimo Lopez and George Cambosis. So if you really want to be technical about it, I'm not saying you in general. I'm just saying if you really want to say how many franchise titleist champions they are, okay. When you're talking about the basics, when you're talking about the paperwork, 5. When you're talking about the actual champions, Teofimo defeat Loma and Cambosis defeated Tio.
Okay, but I'm just saying we're gonna start with Canelo. And he was the first franchise. How he not on your list though?
Because it was no one for him to win the title from. So I said it was 5. I said it was 5. It was 5 franchise champions.
They made him the first designated franchise.
Correct. Champion. He didn't beat nobody for it. It's just when they needed Canelo because he's the cash cow. He's the face of boxing.
He disrespect Devin Haney like that and say
who did he get it from? How can you petition something that don't exist?
But I'm saying he never
How can you petition something that don't exist?
Champion. He never see. This is the thing that when you meet in World Combat Sport, Devin ain't petition that. He asked to fight for this here honor and glory.
Devin don't have no franchise title.
No, I'm making a point with the Canelo and the Devin and how people say he an email champion. And I say how is that was when he wanted to fight Lomachenko. Lomachenko accepted that to avoid the Devin Haney of the world. He the one fucked it up.
It
And
wasn't
then
nothing on paper to say.
come
Listen, that's
on, man.
untrue.
Yes, that's
It's
why
untrue
Devin
because
Haney
Devin
was his
Haney,
mandatory. It was.
Devin, it wasn't, dog. That's just hoopla and hey la,
You
dog.
said it wasn't nothing on paper, so
I'm talking
I'm going.
about
Then why?
Devin stayed in there to fight Zaur Abdullayev, I believe, for a interim championship because they talked with Dan Mauricio Suleiman and Mauricio agreed
they was
on an
in one of them.
interim championship, not a title eliminator.
They was in
Because
the eliminator.
Lomachenko
All
said
of
he wasn't fighting the rest of the year.
what his name Teal jumped out the eliminator. Bill Haney was on.
No, T.O. was never in
He
the
was in it. He
look.
jumped out that shit, bro.
Look, the
Went into the
whole
IBF.
tournament crumbled.
It
The whole
did.
tournament
It did. And
crumbled.
this why at the time, this why Devin Haney was in front race of the shit. He was already this champion. Devin Haney was already ranked in the IBF too at the time. He was a intern champion or some. He had some belt with the IBF still at that time. But shout out to Bill Haney and shout out to all these fathers for doing a good job with their sons, though, man. We don't give these fathers enough credit because we have T.O. father just did the unthinkable with the super cap, what he did when they became champions, and they take away from all these other fathers who did a great job with their son, the World Combat Sport. You feel what I'm saying? Because they look at just what T.O. father did and was saying, and they put that on all these other fathers who training their son. You know what I'm saying? And it's not right though, bro. It's just not right though, my G. Because I think T.O. father did a good job with him. Because I think he took him to the promised land. It's just that when he got to the promised land, he just ate that milk and honey and just went crazy. Instead of just being humble and working hard and sticking to his craft and had his son out there with the hookah, the same thing that people want to talk about Earl with, he followed in suit and guess what happened? You feel what I'm saying? This is what we got though, bro. We can't play boxing out here. This is a deadly sport. This ain't something you can play patty cake. This ain't patty cake. A dude in there trying to knock your fucking brains out for a bag.
Obviously, look, T.O. had some issues going into that fight, no doubt. But what I want to get some clarity on is that you asked about Canelo Alvarez with the franchise. Mauricio Suleiman was planning on implementing the franchise belt. So the first person he was going to make franchise champion to get off that WBC and allow him the power not to face his mandatories was Canelo. And who was his mandatory at the time? Mar Charlo. So Canelo was really the one that really was in a position to face Mar Charlo. But boom, he ended up getting a WBC belt, Mar Charlo. You have an email. And Canelo moved about his business. But when it comes down to franchise champions, are they going to respect the ones who was designated franchise champion or the ones who actually beat a franchise champion with petition and earning the belt? It's only two out there that did it, T.O. and Kambosos.
Exactly. But then we know T.O. petitioned to be a franchise champion.
Correct.
But then the
so did
question,
Kambosos.
But it hasn't been proven that Kambosos. But we know in order
Kambosos
to get it,
did.
in order to get it, because repeatedly Suleiman said exactly. But it's just funny though. And then when they announced him as champion in the new WBA, WBO,
Correct.
IBO,
You're right.
and
You're right.
franchise unified champion.
You're right.
They
You're
never
right.
said Kambosos
It was
undisputed the new.
You're
They
right.
never said that though on World Combat Sport.
Good attention to detail.
See, exactly. And they said it again. And then it goes back to the fight hype because this is where all of it started. If you like you said.
But why this out though?
The first time I jumped
Why
on
this
your
out there though?
platform, and
Ben,
this is what I want to ask you though, World Combat Sport.
look at that thumbnail. Why that tweet out there about the WBC then?
I know, but I want to ask you something. Because this is what I want to ask you though.
You see, I know, but I want to ask you something.
Because you said something when I first jumped on your platform. You said, don't come to me with box rec. And I tell you, say, damn, then how people supposed to get their information? You say, I want you to know off your head. And I said, I got it off my head, but then it takes away from the undisputed because the undisputed means what it supposed to mean though. World Combat Sport undisputed, where everybody supposed to be in agreement. This our champion. This the champion. Like it or not. He did this, he did that. When you got these dudes like the T.O. with this franchise belt and Devin Haney over here at this time here, not saying later on like you implemented, made a good point. when all these things, but it takes away from the designation of what the franchise champion supposed to really be. If everybody franchise champion though on World Combat Sport, this is what I say is confusing to me, because if everybody franchise champion, what power you have? You can't sanction them. They can say no. Just like, you feel what I'm saying? And you sue them, how can you mandate and I'm the franchise champion? I don't want to fight them. Then you have another
That's
cap.
gonna be later up the line, though.
But
That's
then
gonna
you
be
have,
later up the line because
but look, you
Mauricio
need
Suleiman is going to
look. That's,
implement
I
franchises in
know,
other
but look,
divisions at
at the cap
22.
you're gonna have now though. Real
Huh?
combat. If you look at it, look at the cap you setting up for. That gonna be a bunch of more capping. I ain't gonna fight him. I ain't finna fight Ben Israel. I ain't finna fight World Combat Sport, man. No, he weighed 200 pounds, man.
But that's why he made the belt.
But then it
But you
takes
know what? You know
it's
what though?
good. It makes sense
Initially,
though. World
check this out,
Combat
man.
Sport.
Initially, when Mauricio Suleiman enacted the belt, they say the champion cannot lose the belt. Even if he lose a fight against another boxer, they cannot gain a franchise. And then he changed it up. He made his revisions, and then he made it to a point where it can be petitioned. Now the big Q mark that I have is, what are they going to recognize? Are they going to recognize the ones who was initially given the franchise belt at the top when they was already WBC champions, so they was elevated to franchise, or are they going to recognize the ones who actually fought and became franchise champion by beating a franchise champion? So that's going to be a bit more complex too,
I think they
when
should.
it comes down to it.
I think they should acknowledge both of them. The one that he put in implement, and the ones like you said, the TO and the Cabosa, the ones that then
But
dethroned
they got to
those
blend it
champions.
together. Then they got to
But
blend them all
exactly.
together.
See. Now see. This is what I was telling you last time when we had a disagreement. World Combat Sport. See how you make it sense now? That's what I'm saying, though, bro. He gonna have to put all this shit together, though, bro. Because it's gonna take away from this champion. It could take away from you. What if you
No,
was
I
the
ain't talking about Haney's belt. I'm talking about the
See, now
franchise
you
belt.
know what I'm finna say. See, it takes away from you, World Combat Sport, if you was that champion. But you got to look at it. See, now you can look at what we was talking about back then now. See, this is what I'm saying. You made it make sense. But then now look at it another token. If the franchise champion is designated so I can call whoever I want at any division, because this is what he said is for. Now, everybody franchise champion. Who gonna call who out, though, bro? You got all these franchise champion at,
It's only one sanctioned body, though.
but that means so all the other body section gonna be okay that the franchise champion can call their body and section out. Ain't gonna be controversial with them.
You
People's
know,
and
they gave them the authority. I don't know how this is going to play
just
out.
for
I don't
it,
know. Look, I
it
don't know if
make
Mauricio Suleiman is going to
thinking
change,
that
make any
shit through.
revisions
He
to
ain't
this
thinking
moving
it
forward.
through. You got to think this shit all the way through thorough.
He has to, because he's making the decision.
Exactly. And this is why I say nothing with you, World Combat Sport. You made a lot of good sense. But let's talk about this Tank Davis and this fight coming up, though. If you don't mind me saying, though, my G.
What's the talk about? He gonna knock old boy out?
You think he gonna knock Isaac out?
Man, I just don't see him in sparring and seeing him in person. I look at Isaac. He's a fresh face. He has the tenaciousness of a pit bull for real. He's about that smoke, but I just never seen a pit bull defeat a tank. Never. I seen one get ran over. I seen one get ran over several times, and that was a massacre. So I don't expect anything less come this weekend.
But
He's
then
gonna bring everything he need to bring against Tank. But Tank is a monster, man. Tank is a monster, bro.
exactly, and Tank up first, and then after Tank, we got the Devin the Nightmare Haney with JoJo Diaz. And how you had that fight playing out, my brother?
That's gonna be a very interesting fight. Of course, I'm going for Devin Haney. I like JoJo Diaz. I do, but in this setup right here, I want to see Devin Haney win for one reason. I really want to see him and Bill Haney get the shot to face George Kambosos. That's only if Kambosos keeps his word. I really want them to get that shot. I want to see on one side of the damn ring, I want to see Devin the Dream Haney, and the other side, I want to see George Kambosos for all the marbles. All the marbles in the lightweight division. I just want to see that boxing oasis for one night, that we can clean up all this debate and then come back on here and say, well, we got what we wanted. Talk on it.
That part though. But George Cambosa said he gonna make it hard for the Nightmare though. World Combat. He said he
I
gonna
mean,
bust the little, he said he gonna bust the jit up, man. He said he gonna cut him and everything else though, man. You think Devin can open up his toolbox, his ring IQ, and keep and
all
make
them
it?
Aussie fighters fight the same. Who else was an Aussie fighter to try to rough another fighter up? You know who he is. Jeff Horn. He did that shit to Manny Pacquiao. He tried to do it to Crawford. You know, them Aussies, they fight dirty.
And Devin,
I'm not gonna tell you he fought dirty against Tio. He fought damn good against Tio, but when it comes to freaking Devin, in order to slow him down, he's gonna have to do something dirty.
Devin said if he come in there like with all that aggression, he gonna get what Teal got with Cambosa. That boy said you see what Teal did. Teal came in there, thought he was just gonna have a good look, you know what I'm saying? He gonna get the same thing. He better come in there thinking, you know. So I
First
think
of all, I can see Devin coming in there working off the stick. Period. That's what his fundamentals are first and foremost. He ain't gonna just come in there reckless with T.O. It's just not gonna happen, man. There's no way. Bill will probably jump up on the apron like Kenny Porter and say, "Bro, you coming here fucking off? I'm gonna throw this towel on your ass in the first round."
you take both of those fights this weekend, though, World Combat Sport. Your opinion. Who you think got the biggest task in front of them?
Devin.
Yeah,
because Jojo Diaz can fight, man.
Exactly.
Isaac Cruz, I don't consider him a huge task for Gervonta Davis.
He unproven. He has yet to win a world title. You know exactly. You know, and with the Devin, I hope Bill, I hope you taking this fight real serious, bro. Very, very serious, because all the marbles is lined up with Jojo Diaz. If you can get rid of this dude, if you can get rid of him, I mean, I don't care if it's, I hope it's a slugfest though on World Combat Sport. I want this fight to be more intriguing than the Linares fight was when Linares hit Devin, and Devin had to wake himself up in that right. Because this what I love this about boxing, World Combat Sport, because it's a gladiator sport, and I feel as though I want to see what a boxer do under pressure, a fighter does under pressure. Excuse me. I want to see when they get punched in their shit or get dropped, how they respond to this type of adversity. You feel what I'm saying, though, my G? I love that. And I want to see that. And I want to see that for Devin. I want Devin to prove to the world that he's able. But if he go in there and just walk through JoJo and make it like he did, you know, Gamboa, 12-0 round, you know, I love that even more. But I hope I hope Jojo Diaz stand up to the fight. I hope he hit Devin and make Devin think. I want to see the young fighter. I want him to prove himself. I want people to, I'm ready for Devin. Because I feel as though Tank dudes line up to fight Tank because it's a paycheck. Fuck getting losing or winning. They're not even thinking that. They're just thinking of money. But with Devin, they thinking low risk, low reward. ain't nothing high about none of that. The purse might not be too overwhelming, and this ass whooping might not be neither. So there is a avoided fight. You know what I'm saying? Jojo Diaz was going in there to fight Ryan Diaz for the 1.5.
Ryan Garcia.
Ryan Garcia. They matched it. Ryan Garcia is the most
Duck Master.
the lion, the diva of the 135 division. That dude need to fight Teal. Now that's a fight Teal need to fight. When Ryan Garcia get through with that tampon, and forgive me, World Combat Sport, you understand? When Ryan Garcia get through with that motherfucking tampon between his ass and his mouth, he need to fight Teal, my G, for real. Cause that shit he making as boxing. I'm a boxing fan first, World Combat Sport. I'm not happy. That bitch is he doing something to me. He taking my money. I don't know if it's a robbery or I'm being maneuvered in a bamboozle scheme. I don't know.
I think just the opposite. I think Tio should fight Lomachenko again.
No, ain't nothing for Lomachenko to fight until for now.
What you mean?
What's
the Ryan Garcia to fight? You talking about O's on the record? Lomachenko still has Wall Street in the sport, man.
He does though, but what this does for Lomachenko, if Lomachenko go in there and fight a Tio and lose again, see this the business side.
Exactly.
See,
Fighters
no,
should fight each other more than
see,
once.
as a boxing fan, this is what we saying. If this was your investment, if Lomachenko your only investor, you got, let's say you got, I only got number like 75 to I can put this in the bank. If this is all my money, I'm not finna do this here. And this Lomachenko, bro. I'm not finna put him with Till right now. This is all the money I got.
Man, that's
Of
a
course not.
two-time gold medal standard winner.
Bro, you not listening to
You
World
can't
Combat
start.
Sport.
You can't start milking him
Okay,
like a little
okay. I
baby
guarantee,
cow.
I guarantee you, if that fight happened, I cash up you $100 and I come on your platform, you'll be the sensei. I'm telling you, it's no
No, that's
way.
Stormy B. Shout out to
Dog,
Stormy B, man.
shout
Stormy
out to
B, the
Stormy
sensei,
B, the
dog.
real sensei. But I'm telling you, World Combat, it'd have made sense earlier if you'd have rematched. Lomachenko, his advisor gonna tell him no. What the fuck we gonna fight him
But
for?
Lomachenko didn't sign up for a rematch, so it can happen again. He just didn't
It's a
sign up
low,
for it that day.
it's a low risk. Both of them, Lomachenko and motherfucker Tio. Matter of fact, since you want to bring up Lomachenko, they need to be eyeing Ryan Garcia. As soon as he come off the hiatus, I don't care if it's Oscar De La Hoya or Bernard Hopkins. I don't know who in charge of that Golden Boy company over there no more. I don't know which one. Is it the Diva or the Gladiator? I don't know if it's Nylon Stockings or the Warrior. I don't know World Combat Sport. But whoever, soon as this man come out of his hiatus, I don't know what is Ryan Garcia's problem. Who knows World Combat? World Combat Sport, you're a man of your word. What is Ryan Garcia's problem? Why he's not fighting? Explain this to the boxing fan. Ben Israel, I'm a boxing fan. Explain this to me. Why are we not seeing Ryan Garcia? What is his problem? He still got COVID. He still got PSD. Everybody, you got PSD. I got PSD. We all suffer from post-traumatic stress disorder, my G. Who have not seen multiple people get killed in front of them in their hood? You feel what I'm saying? Come on, man. What this boxing, bro? Prize fighting again. What do we have in Ryan Garcia though, my G? Why is he not fighting? Explain this to me. Tio and Lomachenko need to have them right in their target. Soon as that dude make any gesture, if they talk about trolling, I'll be trolling that motherfucker World Combat Sport. Every time you see Ryan Garcia, you'll see Ben Israel, you'll be like, damn, what the fuck going on with this shit? Every time I come over, I'll be in that motherfucker chest. You ain't getting away from this. For real. Because Ryan Garcia is all hype, bro. Until he prove himself, I'm not buying that shit though, man. I don't know what they got in him over there in Golden Boy, Golden Girls, or whatever that company name today. And you know the funny thing, they're in charge of Ring Magazine, the World Combat Sport. You know that? These biased judges and the same people that we get our critic from our resources. Let's go check. This nigga own the company. The fuck I'm finna worry about what De La Hoya, who he say the Ring Magazine number. He own this motherfucking company. He gonna be biased from jump. This is why Lomachenko was motherfucking the sensei for the longest. You motherfucker. If you don't do your homework, people don't know World Combat Sport. How we gonna have an unbiased boxing league when we got this shit going on? It's been going on for the longest. I'm not paying attention to that. I'm not paying attention to this other shit. I want Bud Crawford and my guy Errol Spence to get it on mano a mano Rat 9, the next fight. If we got to do the 60-40, if EJ said, man, I don't think he deserved the 50-50. EJ Bud said, man, he got 6 belts, man, all the way. Fuck that shit. He ain't doing nothing. You feel what I'm saying? It's like, damn, we gonna get it? Is we gonna get two of the most? We got the Floyd and the Pacquiao. We can say we got it. We got it. We gonna get these two motherfuckers? Damn, we gonna get robbed boxing? No, man, come on, man. No, I don't give a fuck. EJ, give him 5 more percent and beat the fuck out of Bud with a no rematch clause involved. Well, he can't get a new rematch clause anyway because he only got 1 belt. So it's only you if you want the rematch clause. So I wouldn't give a fuck. I want that fight. I beat his ass on some of his. It's funny. I can say what I do the World Combat Sport. You can say what you would do. Well, we can't speak for neither of those fighters though. At the end of the day, you feel what I'm saying? We just speaking as boxing fans. But what I would do if I was in that predicament, but you gonna have to, man, bring your ass here. For real, man. Come on, make this shit happen. You said you could beat me.
Nah, man. You know, calling them out ain't gonna do shit. You know what I'm
Come on.
saying?
We as boxing fans, our
You
voice, your
have
voice,
like Jay
your
Ocho
voice
said, like
matters.
Derrick James say, do Errol want that fight?
He
Do
does.
Errol want that
He
fight?
said he
Jay
wanted.
Ocho is
You know
making a
he wanted.
solid point. Jay Ocho said, does Derrick James? I mean, like Derrick James said, do Errol want the fight?
He wanted though. You know he wanted the World
But
Combat
but
Sport.
Derrick
And
James
you
is
fought it.
his
And one
trainer.
thing, Ocho, and the rest of these dudes that's in the chat, World Combat Sport know what's going on, man. He may say one thing, but he know. And these both of them dudes want this shit, bro. It's about getting them in agreement to
I don't
what
know. You can't be an advocate for Terrence Crawford.
I'm gonna be an advocate for him. Cause y'all ain't being an advocate for him. And it's a fair
I
fight,
am.
man.
I'm absolutely am.
You are. And that's why you screaming 50-50 though. But you being biased too at the same
50-50
time.
all night, Shawty.
No,
Because if
no,
you really
shout
want
it.
to get in
Because
that
if you in
ring
the
and fight,
ATL, if I'm finna come up there in Bankhead or meet you over there in East Point, and I'm telling you, man, meet me at, you know what I'm saying, in College Park somewhere, and we can do this shit,
I hope you know some people over there.
bruh. Don't think, bruh, worldwide from Key West to California, my G. And I ain't just capping. But anyway, like I told you,
No, I'm
dude,
talking about I was born and raised here, so yeah, I understand
East
what you're
Point,
talking about.
Bankhead, all that shit, dude. The ATL
Okay,
is like Miami. Half of them dudes,
okay,
hey, how about this though, World Combat? Half of them dudes in your hometown is from Miami. I promise you that. I promise you. Half of them dudes in
bro. I
East
grew up
Point.
in the '70s and '80s. You must not
Well,
know
well,
about my
you,
boys locked up
well,
doing
you
double
grew up,
life.
you
He
grew
was
up in a
he was
different.
one of the damn
But
shot
the
callers
majority of them,
down by law.
the majority of them dudes up there now. Anyone go to the nearest. Where your mama from, man? We just moved up here. You know all that shit. Migrated. The majority of them dudes from Atlanta came from Miami, bro. They migrated. They left here, man. First 48, and the dudes was already half of them was snitching. Well,
Hey, just like
we
Trick
talking
say,
boxing.
Ben.
We talking boxing right now. We talking about.
Hey, just like Trick said, Ben. If you in my city, check out my beaches, but don't fall in love with my bitches.
Hey, hey.
Enjoy the beaches
One
and don't
thing
fall
about
in
them
love with
Georgia
my
women,
bitches.
boy. Hey, if y'all dudes in this platform looking for a wife, and be careful when you go to Georgia too. Because everything you think a peach ain't not a peach, boy. You might have a plum on your hands, boy. Bullshit.
See,
And
see,
ass
only
get to
only cats
the
that's not from here, they have to worry about the plums.
see, yeah, this is what I'm telling them.
If you
Yeah,
was
this real,
born
so
and raised down here
you
in
should
this
know
peach
I'm
state,
plugged into that
you
shit.
know the ones that was born a plum
And
that's trying to be a peach.
see, this is what I'm saying, but this is what I'm telling dudes that's not from there. When they be talking about their Georgia peaches, this is why I'm giving my little narrative. That's all I'm doing. When they pull up
Man,
and they
don't be
see,
trying to goddamn hate on my city, the ATL, the out
that's
of
anyway.
Atlanta, because their shit has changed. We have people from Florida, New York coming down here to get operations. You
Hey
know what I'm
man,
saying? The true
ATL
ATLians,
and you know
they still real. They still solid.
ATL is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful place though, man.
We got too
If
many
y'all do,
implants down here. We got implants down here.
hey man, they moving things around everywhere. The World Combat Sport, they taking it from their thighs, putting it in their ass, and they stomach from their neck. They doing it. It's it's implants everywhere, man. And that's go on all levels. And I'm not just saying it on just that. We could put it in boxing, how they the implant with the cheating. Just it's on all levels. But to keep it on just boxing like we talking right now, it's just a funny thing how we have, we can sit here and say, George Cambosa might fight Devin, or he might, or the Tank at the end of the day.
What if he don't fight Devin, bro?
Then what that leaves George Cambosa to do? Who he gonna fight? He don't got no.
Nah, I want to talk about the backlash. The backlash, like they was giving Tio. What if he just move on like Tio did past
He
Devin?
had to fight. Only
What should
way
we
he
do?
don't get. Only way he
What
don't
should we
get.
do on YouTube? I say we should
Only
protest. I don't think
only
many
way he
people are
don't
willing to
get no
protest.
backlash. Only way he don't get it unless he go in there with a like you said with a Tank Davis. That's the only way. He sit here and fight anybody. It could be JoJo Tutu, any motherfucker, man. I don't give a fuck. It's enough of this shit. The boxing world done been split it right now. We got the Errol Spence and the Bud Crawford fans ready to kill each other, and both of them Hebrews and Muslims, Christians, brothers. They don't even give a fuck about each other no more. Behind two other fighters. Then we
Hold
got
on for a
this.
second. I got to recognize my man, Sir Ken. On deck, World Combat Sports salute. Salute to the wrenches and salute to the chat. Smash the like button. Appreciate you pulling up as always there, Sir Ken. One love to you, brother. But you know, with you Ben, I'm just asking the question, dog. Like, no backlash if he doesn't fight Devin, if Cambosis does not fight Devin, it should get backlash just like Tio. That's the whole point of us pushing this fight this weekend. We
But if
want Devin Haney to defeat Jojo Diaz because hopefully, if God dials everything else and bless us, we would get a lightweight unification
undisputed,
for everything.
undisputed. Say it with me.
Undisputed, undisputed. How they put it? The assistant. No, it'd be full undisputed.
Undisputed. That's the glory.
Undisputed with a +1.
And if I'm finna lose anything, I'm gonna lose it to undisputed though, man. This is why Cambosa should have no reason not to fight Devin Haney. He can masquerade. He can start this shit, and he can follow the T.O. suit if he want to, and he gonna get the same T.O. answer in his next fight.
No, not
For
with
real.
him having that shit co-signed by the WBC, and he have that
Man, they
depicted on his
co-signed it
IG.
with T.O. They co-signed it with T.O., but it wasn't like I told you when they introduced him as champion. You and I, we agreed on that. We both did not hear in the new undisputed. They said the new unified WBO, WBA, IBF, and the new franchise unified lightweight champion. They did not. They had every right to say if they deemed it was fit, it was not fit. If you look in box rec, the same record you told me don't look in World Combat Sport, which I know I was ready to go to on you. Now I was going to say, well, damn, they said Dev, you said no, just off it. And by law, which one we looking at? We gonna look on my opinion, your opinion, or what box rec say? It's fucked up though, bro. And they fucking us up with this bullshit. And if you're a boxer or a boxing fan, you should want your fighter, if this Cambosa your fighter or Tio your fighter, and Devin Haney, you should want them to clash heads to clear this shit up. Because Sudaman ain't clearing this shit up for us. He got us running around he about ready to have y'all with y'all heads cut off. And long
Hey,
as
let me show you something before we close this down because I definitely got to get up. I wanted to show you the ring pound for pound list. You know, I just want to see the current.
There you go. I know you're going there with
current,
the EJ.
right?
You going with the
So
EJ?
I know you got 20/20 vision.
I'm gonna give.
I know you got 20/20 vision there, Ben.
I'm gonna get World
I
Combat
see
Sport
Crawford
his
in
world
3. I see Crawford in numero 3, and I see Errol Spence
I see EJ up there
at
now.
Ses.
I see EJ in there.
3.
Hey,
Ses 3.
but this Ring magazine, and we just
No. Answer this though. Why is Josh Taylor in front of Errol Spence if
I just
accolades
told
don't
you.
matter? Why is Inouye in
Oscar
front
De
of
La
Spence
Hoya,
if accolades
Oscar
don't
De
matter?
La Hoya on Ring magazine. So shout out to Oscar De La Hoya. Shout out to Golden Girl, Golden Boy, Golden whoever. Which
So what does that
promotion?
do with anything? Is Terrence signed the Golden Boy?
No, but that's their promotion. And they in cahoots.
Okay.
They push what they want to push though, man.
Is Oleksandr Usyk signed the Golden Boy?
They go another top rank.
Okay, I'll move on.
Another
I'll move
top.
on.
Oh,
I apologize. I
half of them,
apologize. Is
75%
Josh
of
Taylor
them
signed
fighters,
to Golden Boy?
75% of them fighters is on top rank, bro.
Bravo Ben. Is Josh Taylor
I love that. Hey,
as
bravo, big.
Josh Taylor signed the Golden Boy?
Go another Bob Aaron promoter. I'm telling you, all
Okay.
these top ranked promoters, man. Look at them top ranked fighters, man.
I'm
all
just
them
looking at
top
this
ranked
pound for
fighters
pound list.
is
And
full
Terrence
of top
Crawford is
ranked.
top 3 pound for pound.
And this
Now,
why. And this
I
why.
want you to see something there, Ben. If you go down here to the country, it gets its record. I'm so taken back. Where is the PPV numbers to justify this? That's all I'm saying. Where are the PPV numbers?
See, this is why I told you. What many you told me to keep the ball in the same perspective
Let me
and
see.
don't move the goalposts. Well, how can you put accolades? Like I told you, Terrence Crawford is Mr. Six Belt. When you hear me on different platforms, World Combat Sport, and you hear me say six belt, I want you to just laugh. And I don't want you to laugh like,
I like
oh
six
shit.
belt. I like how you
Because you
put
know
that
that's
six belt.
describing him who he are. That's describing Terrence Crawford, lightweight champion, undisputed at super lightweight, and champion at welterweight, 6 belts. He did that. If you want to throw the Ring magazine in there, he'd be 7 belts. You feel what I'm saying?
So last
If you
question
want to throw
with six
linear,
belt. I'm glad
if
you
you
brought
want to
that
throw
up again.
linear, if you want to throw
Now check it
linear,
out. I'm gonna ask
it'll
you the
be
golden
8. If
question
you want to
again,
throw
Ben, because I know
linear,
you know
how
your
about
shit
this?
when it
It'll
comes to
keep
boxing.
going up. Listen, if you want to
It
throw
keeps. Hey,
linear,
look, no, I
it'll
know you
keep
know your
going up.
boxing. I want to ask you one more question. When you take a 6 and a 2, what does it tell you right off the rip when you're talking about championships?
I mean,
You
if
have
you take
6 vice 2.
six take away 2 equals 4, right? And
So you trying to say
we got the
Terrence Crawford
difference.
has 4 more championships than Errol Spence?
Of course,
Jeez.
even if you say, and I'm
Jeez.
gonna give you another one too.
Damn.
He got 5 more if you take the lineal.
Yeah.
If you take Ring Mag,
Talk your shit, bro. Talk your shit, man.
it'll go on
Absolutely.
and on. But how many does that say these same people
It
put?
comes a
Does that mean these same
time
boxing fans is supporting Bud
when a
Crawford? Is
person
they
has to
paying for his
recognize.
pay-per-view buys? Did they just win and bought the app with Sean Porter? Did they
Oh,
go
oh, oh,
to the
oh, oh,
fights
it
when he be
comes
fighting
a time
Udongo and the rest of them other people? You know, is they supporting the
that
Terrence
you
Bud
have
Crawford, or they
to
just coming on YouTube and supporting them with they lips?
realize.
Because we supporting EJ over here. This is what we doing. And
Whoa,
World Combat Sport making a beautiful point. He's showing Ring
whoa,
Magazine, all the De La Hoya wish be
down
fighters.
by the
You feel what I'm saying?
river.
That's in top rank camp. You know what I mean? Because if you look at them, we got 80% of these fighters on this here is top rank fighters. And the rest of them is probably dilute the better.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing this because you're pretty much making up excuses, man. I'm just gonna take that down, man. You're just making up excuses to my top
Shout
ranked
out to
fighters,
World
man.
Combat Sport. If y'all don't know, y'all subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. You know what I'm saying? All donations, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if you got his cash app. Y'all send it. And if y'all in the area, y'all slide through the ATL, you know what I'm saying, and visit my boy World Combat Sport. Keep it all
Hey, nah,
boxing.
don't stop through here because I'm gonna be in the strip club. You ain't gonna be able to see me.
Hey,
I'm
nah,
good.
stay out of the strip club,
No, I was
man.
born and raised off them joints.
Man,
I'm not a
come
transplant, dog. I'm not a transplant. I was raised off them. Some of my
hey,
classmates was in the strip club.
hey, I tell y'all about these 80s babies and these 70s babies, boy. What say it again, though, my G? He say he is not no motherfucking transplant. He ain't changing. He said he ain't changing. In other words, if y'all don't understand what he's saying, he ain't changing, my G. I'm making something up. Let them know. I'm making something up on you. Just let me know now. They
No,
might be
I'm
listening.
just saying, like when I say transplant, I'm not from somewhere surrounding like New York
Yeah,
and
you ain't making shit
all
up.
that.
That's what it is. You getting right there. But shout out, y'all visit the city. Y'all pay attention to what y'all getting. You know, make sure y'all getting the mango. Make sure a mango is a mango. A peach is a peach. Be careful with them plums now. It's not a peach. It's a motherfucking plum. You know what I'm saying? Shout out once again. Thank you again, World Combat Sport. We done? Or we still talking boxing?
Yeah, man, we about to close out, man. Give your final words and tell them where they can follow you at, man.
Man, I'm right here with World Combat Sport, man. That's where they can
Nah,
follow
you ain't
me
with
at,
me every day. You ain't with
man.
me, dog.
I'm trolling
You
my
need to
dog,
get
World
you need to get
Combat
your
Sport.
location,
We the
dog. Get them
we
your
the
location.
man. Listen, if y'all
Drop
want my
your LOC.
if y'all want my LOC, and y'all follow EJ,
Okay.
the world destroyer, the dude, Mr. Free Smoke
I go
himself.
in Goodwill all the time. I know where
EJ,
to find y'all. Okay,
if you
cool.
gonna tell them where to find me, now let me finish, my J.
Okay, cool. Cool.
If y'all want to find Big Israel, y'all can find me in the streets at EJ Camp. All in the street because he free smoke. Ain't no side of the street. Ain't no six. Yeah, that's what it is. If a dude, Mr. Six Belts, want to sit here and say his accolade is worth 50%, he should have told Amir Khan that when he took that pay cut with Amir Khan. Amir Khan ain't nowhere near to Errol Spence. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, we just gonna leave that alone. And everybody, we know. But if y'all want to find me in the streets. I'm on all these motherfucking net, on all these channels. But y'all subscribe to the channel, to my dude World Combat Sport. I'd like to thank him again for extending my olive branch and my forgiveness. And you know, it's all love. And you know what I'm saying? And we out of this bitch.
You good? That's it? All right. Appreciate having Ben over here, man. And everybody else that pulled up tonight. Yeah, definitely. We'll do this another time. I appreciate the kind words, man. Apologizing. It's respect. You know what I'm saying? Real talk, you solid. There's no hard feelings at all, man. You know what, men talk, man. Period. But it's hard to decipher the ones that's solid on hand, the ones that's just up here to cause discontent because they feel good. They might have shit going on at home. You know, I always take that in consideration. Some of these cats might be miserable. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here to make them even more miserable. But I forgot a comment that Ghost put up here. If we talking justice and ancestors, fuck MTK. Deontay, my brother, too. And it's a shame if a black man fucks with the devil and his company. What? Oh, so you saying MTK, they have to sell their soul? I hope not. But man, I didn't get a chance to get Roy them on here. But you'll probably see him sooner or later, man, when we all together. That's how we roll. We're gonna be super deep out there. We're gonna be super deep out there in NYC. We're gonna be out there to get that boxing talk. Shout out to Showtime that's gonna be out there. He was just out there at the Teofimo fight, man. Gave me some good insight behind the scenes. You know what I'm saying? But you know, J.H. Sirkin, Ghost to this day, RV, J. Ocho. Who else was in here? Ben Ezra came through. Free Hoover was on deck, cooking with Sir Senior, Andrew Charles, Fernando Bunch. Yeah, salute to every one of you came back, man. Turn up and tune in to World Combat Sports, man. I am out.
What up? It's your boy Roy Jones Jr. and right now you tune in to World Combat Sports.